I mean, John Wayne Gacy was named after John Wayne, even though he was a fat little fuck. Right? And his dad was eternally disappointed in him for being a fat little fuck. He named him after John Wayne to give him something to aspire to, and sadly that was killing like 17 boys.
Didn't it?
Yeah.
Well, he should have took notice from the song by Johnny Cash, A Boy Named Sue.
Yeah.
If you want your boy to grow up to be tough and strong, you give him a horrifically feminine name, which causes him a life of bullying and ridicule. Then he grows up to be tough.
Yeah.
You call him John Wayne and he murders 5,000 children or something, whatever he did. Is he the clown one?
Yeah, he was the clown one.
That's why you don't like clowns, isn't it?
No, I've got nothing. It's just that is one element to stuff, but you know, clowns are genuinely creepy. I don't like it when I can't see someone's face.
Burka's racist.
No, it's not. At least I can see the eyes. At least the eyes are the windows of the soul. You can fucking see something.
See clown's eyes.
And their soul
But
says,
it's hidden behind a fucking makeup and a big red nose. That's not natural.
What's the difference?
No, it doesn't matter. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't agree. I don't agree with burkas because it's oppression. There you go.
What's scarier, burkas or clowns? Oh, I'm not touching that one.
Or a clown in a burqa.
Oh, just imagine that big red nose.
There's a hole for the nose.
Hole for the nose.
But he's got
and the burka's
burkas,
got a
and
sack
then sticking out the bottom of his burkas, his big long clown feet.
I'm telling you what, this is a film that needs to be written.
Muslim clowns from outer space.
Bozo the burqa-clad and clown.
Perfect climate for it.
What if these aliens visiting us are in fact burqa wearing clowns?
Well, to be honest, I've always wanted to write a children's book, so maybe it could be a sort of inclusive, you know, one of those sort of books that teaches kids about racial inclusion, and it's Bozo the burqa-wearing clown. Boom!
In a post-Brexit world.
So
tell us how you get on with that, Gaz.
Well, I'll probably write it okay, but when it comes to getting it published, and,
I think if you did manage to get it published, you'd have a fatwa declared against you. The entire Muslim world would say it's okay for you to be brutally murdered.
And clowns. Clowns would probably say it's okay to kill me.
I don't have so much of an issue with clowns.
Well, the clowns have turned to Islam now.
No, I mean the clown brigade would want to kill me as well as the Muslims because I've sullied their precious clown. Mate, they take that shit quite seriously.
They do, they don't like it.
Have you ever met an actual real life clown that you didn't want to punch? Because it takes a very special sort of person to go to circus school. Should we start the Christmas episode?
Should we just keep that in?
I think keep it, Mike, edit it as... Yeah, that was a rolling introduction, which I think is only fit because we're very festive. Because...
Yeah. Well, no, we're not actually, because wearing a Christmas jumper while recording is punishable by a savage beating.
Which is why nobody wore one. But this is our Christmas special. So do you want to introduce the show, Ben?
Let's say welcome to Cutting Through the Ball in the post-truth apocalyptismus.
Hey!
Apocalypsemus.
I like what you did there.
Discovery's 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions. Roger roll, Discovery.
I'm Ben, I'm joined by Gaz.
Hello.
And Mike.
Hello.
Who's, you know, we spoke about Mike being a shill for lilt.
What are you drinking, Mike?
It's called Caribbean Twist.
Is it alcoholic?
It is alcoholic.
It's an alcoholic lilt.
It was the cheapest alcohol per litre that was in there, so...
Scott's back, mate.
And I love that your science brain worked that out. Did the equation. What am I getting per litre?
That's it, man.
And you worked out scientifically.
I want to see Mike smash John Scott's back though recording this.
Yeah.
I want to see Scott smacked up Mike ranting with the government. I'm sure.
Well,
And if listeners want to hear that too, Scott's Mac is a very potent whiskey white wine combination available from
Worst thing I've ever
Stockings.
had. Whiskey white wine combination, did you
yes.
just say?
Yes. It used to be £2 a litre.
I'm more of a Tudor Rose fan. So.
Why does that exist?
I don't know.
Put whiskey in white wine.
Scottish people.
Yeah, Glasgow specifically, probably. Well, there's a can of lager there if you want one, mate. Help yourself. But I would like to just point out, before we get going, that usually as we record, I will help myself to a couple of beers and balance it out with a couple of Red Bulls and then some marijuana, allegedly.
Quotation marks around that.
Yeah, but this week, for the first time since setting up and starting the podcast, I'm not driving home, so I'm going to get drunk as we record. So I'm going to try and keep away from anything too ranty or nonsensical, but I'm just a pre-warning, just to let you know if you think Gaz sounds different this week. Help yourself.
I owe you a can. I just got.
No, you don't.
I don't want to break recording.
No, you don't. Help yourselves. Yeah. So if I sound different to you this week, it's the alcohol, definitely. And what's the plan we've got? I suppose we're gonna stick to our usual format and do some news stories.
Yeah, man.
And then we're gonna get into some dark Christmas stuff, because why talk about the beauty and the magic of Christmas when you can talk about how fucked it is?
I personally had this thought the other day. You know this elf on the shelf? I don't know what it is, but it annoys me.
Well,
So-
do you want a brief breakdown of what it is? The three of us, this is your first episode. The three of us don't have children, so elf on the shelf then is, if you do have children, every morning the idea is you create some sort of scene with the elf.
Right.
And the children are to believe that the elf has come to life overnight and done something weird and every day. But, which is a nice thing, but because of Facebook, this has turned into competitive elf on the shelf between parents who can get their elf to do the most crazy thing for their kid.
Okay.
Which I think is going to lead me on to what you're about to say, is it not? What have you seen them doing?
Well, just like I've seen stupid ones where like he's banging Barbie and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's Dad's.
I was going to say bestiality.
Did you see the people that had put the elf on the shelf on the rim of the toilet and used chocolate mousse to write and make it look like the elf had been writing in shit?
Something like that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I've seen that. But I just didn't genuinely know what it was, and I would quite happily be like sort of an anti-Santa. Go into people's houses on Christmas Eve and destroy their elves on the shelves.
Kill them.
Yeah,
Well,
brutally.
the thing is, elf on the shelf, I can see the magic for the kids. I've got a girlfriend who has children, and I can see that, you know, there's some magic there for them, but it's not about, honestly, the Facebook thing, it's turned into parents competing. Oh, look what I did for my children's elf on the shelf. Oh, cock off, they're all going to find out it's bollocks in about 2 years. Anyway, yeah, it's just another craze.
Alright.
Elf on the... And I did think that
See, I hate shit like that.
if I was in charge... What, you hate magic for children?
Well, why?
Yeah,
I do actually. Magicians
Yeah.
are creepy.
Fuck the kids.
Have you
They
seen
are
that
creepy.
twist to Elf on a Shelf where it's different things?
It's different what, sorry?
different things. Like instead of Elf on a Shelf, it'll be like I don't know.
You've heard of Elf on the Shelf, here's MILF on the
On the
shelf.
gilf.
Yeah, it will be, yeah. Here's, I don't know, here's John on your mum. It will literally be
I
something.
like them.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
quite
then
funny.
we like me. We're fans of the meme.
Do you like a meme?
Well, I do like a good meme.
Like a good meme. Man.
Or fucking meme you. So
So why do we hate Christmas then, basically?
Well, I was gonna say,
as 30-something-year-old men with no kids. I don't know if I'd even tell my kids Santa was real. Santa wasn't.
here we
real.
go then. Here's a good
I
topic
wouldn't.
to get
I wouldn't.
started.
You know, I will agree with you on that. I wouldn't.
Why should I lie to them? Why
Yeah.
should I bring them up in bullshit?
Here's a good topic then. When did you find out Santa wasn't real? Can you remember the moment or the?
Yeah, it was fucking horrible.
I can remember, yeah, because it was
And
very.
it is pretty soul destroying.
It is.
I just
Of
came
course.
into the realisation that he
The
wasn't
Well,
real.
Mike, tell me your.
The person that you believe in the most is like your parents and your family and that.
Yeah.
And if they're telling you that it's real, yeah, and all of a sudden they switch on a dime, so actually it's been bullshit the whole time. Ha ha ha, we've got you.
We have kept you in this web of horrific lies.
Yeah.
We've had you. We've literally. If my parents had a plan for the first sort of section of my life, every time towards winter time they said there'll be no Santa.
Yeah. I've had that said
If
to
you
me.
do this, there'll be no Santa. You know, that is kind of fucked. And I can remember the precise moment. My brother and I shared a room. I have 2 elder brothers, and the middle brother and I shared a room. And he just very casually, sort of one Christmas Eve, I was questioning. I can't remember the exact age, but I was kind of, you know, putting 2 and 2 together and thinking, And he just told me so casually. He basically laughed and was like, Santa's not real, you little dick.
I can't help but laugh at that.
And then he just rolled over to, you know, and then I lay awake that night. I remember just thinking exactly how you just said, Mike. Not just the disappointment that Santa isn't real. My parents are full of shit. Yeah. They're manipulative fucks. Yeah. But the next morning when I woke up to loads of fucking plastic crap that I got to unwrap and like look at, I didn't give a shit then.
Yeah, but the emotional scars run deep.
Yeah, they're subconscious. Well, he says sitting here with his mild alcoholism and his drug habits, and you know, no, it didn't affect me, Mike. It didn't affect me.
It just moaning Christmas.
When everyone else is out there enjoying magic and light and happiness, getting as drunk as we can, talking about why we hate it. But I might disappoint you though this year I've got a bit of Christmas spirit this year. I can't. It's because I'm in a new relationship and it's but the last few years I literally fucked off to Italy to spend it with my friend out there and did nothing remotely Christmassy because
I'd love to go to a non-Christian country during Christmas.
Mate,
Japan or something.
Where it's just not. Does it exist there?
Yeah, you can still look at the Far East, even the Middle East. They'll put Christmas trees up in the malls. They love that shit. It's a brand.
You see though, but I might respect that more because they're accepting it for what it actually is. There's no design.
Like the cloak and dagger shit.
There's none of this. Oh, it's the birth of Jesus Christ.
I suppose if you think of it, it's like the modern Christmas. You know, Santa, presents, lights, trees, blah blah blah, all the imagery that comes with it. It's nice, isn't it?
It's tacky.
Look, it is tacky, but for kids, it's nice. So it's more for the kids, isn't it?
Even in our very cold sort of, you know, 30-something cynical men hearts, there is something nice about wintertime, togetherness, a bit of cheer, some lights,
the old classic film on TV. It's not quite Christmas without that film on.
Ozzy Osbourne put it best. I'm quoting the great man himself. I've ruined the quote. Ozzy said, "Christmas is for alcoholics and children."
Yeah.
For children, it's wonderful and amazing, and if you're the parent of children, you get to get off on their joy and buzzingness.
Yeah.
And if you're an alcoholic, you get to wake up for the next few days, and it's quite socially acceptable to just start drinking.
Yeah, that's true.
Whereas it normally isn't.
It's almost festival rules for Christmas, isn't it?
It's kind of nice.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice. Although sometimes it's a bit annoying and uncomfortable sometimes, but it does force you as a family to at least get together once a year.
At least once, yeah. And I know we were sort of bemoaning before the mics came on that the 3 of us have got individual family commitments that we've got to do, and yeah, we might moan about it, but it is still nice to catch up and see, to a point. But I think our personalities, I think I don't want to put words in your mouth, the sorts that are looking at your watch and sort of thinking, when can I start acting normal again and leave this pretense of like...
that the falseness of it is obviously bollocks.
Well, it's not necessarily false, but it's like, I'm not going to sit down with my family and start talking about wrestling, action movies, fucking alien conspiracies, how good the weed is that I've got at the moment. You know, I'm going to have to pretend to be in their world and I have to pretend to be a normo.
That's it. That's the problem.
And
we're not normos, boys. We're not normos.
You've hit the nail on the head.
Yes. We're forced to act like normos.
I've got at the pub Christmas Eve.
Oh no.
Be normal in a sort of very
like
small,
a sort of normal type pub.
very small old manish.
Ooh.
Not quite old manish, but certainly getting there pub. And you know, it's like, can I carry that off anymore? How long before I start mentioning serial killers or UFOs?
This alien thing, man. I'm going to bring you up with...
Well, we got to save it. If we talk about it now, we'll be here all night.
Yeah, that's very
We've
true.
got to do Christmas. We'll say that there will be an emergency broadcast coming out sometime
next week.
Next
week we're going to record and
because
we
UFOs,
have to address it.
we have to address it.
So
and,
I will skip past that then and go on to, because I was going to say, over Christmas I might ask some of my family members about this alien thing. My nephew is, I think 14 or 15. I did put it on Facebook. Did you see that post, Mike? He was being funny. He wasn't being serious, but he's a bit.
I think I did, and I can't remember what I said.
Yeah, he's a bit of a child prodigy. He's very intelligent. His speciality is computer programming. He's literally had like one of those raspberry board things. Do you know what they are? He's been programming since he was like 12. Anyway, we're just chatting away, and he's got a great sense of humour. He goes, you know how toast always lands butter side up? And I was like, well, it doesn't. He's like, well, no, it does. It always lands. It always lands butter side up. And he's like, cats always land on their feet, don't they? And I was like, yes. And he's like, well, you put toast butter side up on a cat's back and just let it go, and it will spin forever, infinity. Why can't we use that to generate power instead of nuclear power plants? The world is nuts. And I'm like, you're a 14-year-old comedy genius. And I honestly think...
I've heard that before, though.
Oh, has he nicked it from somewhere?
It's like Mock the Week or something.
Oh, well, he's a 14-year-old fucking charlatan, and I will never speak to him again. I'm going to put his Christmas present in the bin.
You do realise that being a 14-year-old child prodigy computer programmer means that within 3 years you're going to get tapped up by MI5 to go and work for them.
Is that going to affect the podcast adversely?
We could have a man on the inside.
Oh, fuck! I was thinking he's going to... I know he's going to
Although we've probably just ruined his chances by discussing this.
But I was
listening
thinking...
to us right now.
I might make him like a sort of feature on the pod. Possibly ask him a question. It could be, a little 2-minute cute little feature. Ask my genius nephew a question and see what his response is. But if he does make it to MI5, that'd be great. I'm hoping he can show us how to use the new sound thing over Christmas. But yeah, so how are we going? We're a bit all over the place, but it's Christmas. It's a party. So what are we going to do? News?
Let's just do a couple of weird news. What we got?
Yeah.
We haven't got a great deal this week because it's been shit. But I like this one.
Oh.
The headline from The Independent. Man took large quantity of MDMA, then stole boat because the swans don't judge me. Which, Gaz, you didn't tell us about this, mate. When did this happen?
I just meant I identify with this man so deeply. Oh my God, I've been there, man. They don't judge me. Whose boat did he steal? It wasn't shaped like a swan, was it?
I don't know.
The photograph is showing swan-shaped pedalos.
Swan boat pedalos at Lake Eola in Orlando.
He said he could be a swan, didn't he?
Is he talking about those swans? The giant pedalo swans didn't judge.
Hang on. Just say further down. Scroll down.
There are pedalos shaped like swans.
There are. I've been in one.
For the listeners.
Yeah, there are. But it does say here. A man who stole a boat and marooned himself in a fountain in the middle of the lake after taking MDMA suggested he did so because the swans don't judge him, police have said. Officials at the Orlando Police Department in Florida said Kyle Thurston took a swan-shaped pedalo out on Lake Eola in the middle of the night, reaching the fountain where he got off the vessel and did not tie it up. The boat floated off, leaving the 36-year-old stranded on the tiny island.
He began screaming for help. And after the authorities were alerted, he was eventually rescued about 4 a.m.
At least he had a life vest on, though. He's found it on the... Is it wearing a life vest he found on the boat? At least some part of his brain kicked in and said, I've taken a lot of drugs.
Right.
And I need to put this life jacket on.
Now,
that's heartwarming.
That's where I'm going to say
that's a Christmas miracle.
Right. Finally, Ben, you might not like, so I'm going to... Mike... St. Bill Hicks, one of his biggest angers in life, he used to say, why don't we get positive drug stories? And he says, it's always, a man took LSD today and jumped out of a first-story window. And Bill Hicks would say, well, fuck him. He was a moron. He deserves it.
Yeah, I agree
Finally, he's got his answer. Alcohol, if this guy was purely drinking, he's dead. He's drowned.
Yeah.
This man was on MDMA, ecstasy.
The swan boat's on fire.
Right? Exactly. Yeah, if he's drinking, the swan boat's on fire, he's upset a gang of people who are chasing him.
He's personally killed about 3 swans.
Yes, yeah, like trying to hug them.
Yeah.
Right? Now, This guy took MDMA, which is the purest form of well, not purest, but it's ecstasy basically, street name ecstasy. So he's feeling wonderfully loved up. He's feeling very good about himself, very confident. He's feeling very good about his surroundings. Everything looks beautiful to him, and he's hurt nobody.
No,
And he's come back alive, right? This is a positive. Bill Hicks should be not. What's the opposite of spinning in your grave?
Looking down,
Happy in your grave. Because finally, a positive drug story. This, okay, an innocent pedalo floated away, but to me, there's nothing bad about this story. There's no. All right, you could say he's wasted some police time, some police funds, but what were them police in Orlando going to be doing otherwise? Shooting black
4
people?
4 a.m. in the morning.
Shooting black
Yeah,
people.
that's
what
they've got on.
doing something racist and violent. That allegedly, I'm joking. It's humour.
And now
But-
he's got a criminal record for possession of a Class A drug.
Yeah, but
Well,
he's world
what a
famous.
story though, eh?
What a
Yeah.
story.
No, but I mean that's what happens.
Oh, he'll be in America. He possibly could be doing jail time for
Right.
having MDMA in his system. I
If
don't
he's on his
know.
third strike, that's
Yes.
life.
The third. Do you know it's mad you said that. I won't say his name because we are friends on Facebook. But my first year at uni, one of our roommates, well, on the halls, sorry, that was the mic. Me hitting the mic with a can.
So you're used to it, are you?
I'm not. No. On our top floor, in the halls in the first year, there's one American guy, and he was a total hippie. I've talked about him before because he was strange because he was a hippie, but also right wing.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying about him. Yeah.
But the reason he was there in England was his father was born in England, but then moved to America, so he somehow that made it easier with passports, whatever. He was on the second strike. He'd been caught with marijuana just down an alleyway somewhere, like, 'cause he lived out in the country, not an alleyway, like a country lane, just having a toke. Twice it had happened to him. So he was on the verge of the third strike. It was facing serious actual jail time. So because he had the British passport thing, he thought, well, why don't I go to college in England and then I won't get the third strike? And that's why he was in Aberystwyth. A guy from Little Rock, Little Rock was the name of the town, but there's more than one in America. Can't remember the state. Pittsburgh, possibly.
Little Rock.
But
He's got to be somewhere safe.
Little Rock. But the whole reason that the dude was studying at Aberystwyth
Yeah.
is to avoid the third freaking strike
well, I've
rule,
heard
man. It's
stories of people
crazy.
having been life imprisonment for stealing cookies
Oh.
and jaywalking.
No.
It's a third strike.
Yeah, and it's
Third
just
strike, you're out life.
And that's
25
it.
years.
Fuck me, that's shocking.
you,
Yeah.
it's time, jail time, third strike, jail time, no matter what that offence is.
Yeah.
So, as much as we would like to moan about this country and God, we're blessed. We are.
Yeah, but then
blessed.
again, I mean, it is. I mean,
comparatively
even in Britain,
blessed.
you can be like sent for multiple offences. If you just keep repeat offending, they'll send you down.
Yeah, but that's
But in the
that's
US,
draconian. That's
it's the
kind
most
of draconian.
incarcerated.
Yeah,
Most of it's civilians.
Well, it's slave
More than
labour
anyone
for them,
else.
isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the modern slave labour. They
Yeah.
produce a lot of stuff.
Oh, I'll be stuck
I'd love
in
to. I don't
They
have
do
to.
produce a lot of stuff for the US military, even
Royal
body
Mail
armour.
bags
And
and stuff as well.
Yeah, and like we
Well,
say,
not
look,
Royal Mail,
we don't have the
Royal
figures to
Mail.
hand, but like we always say, a bit of a catchphrase on the show. You, the listener, are the fact checker.
Indeed.
And you can Google all of this, and you can see the actual numbers of the significant contribution to the American economy that the fucking prison population makes. And so, obviously, it doesn't take a genius, and they're privately run, to
I
know
think
that it's
it's-
in your best interest to keep them fucking populated. So it's
I
not
think it's
conspiracy theory. We're not lefty weirdos. We're not. It just
It just makes sense.
it's factual sense. It's but
Something like 1 in 7 black men are in prison or something
That's
stupid
a
like that.
pretty high proportion, really. when you think-
Might even be like 1 in 3. Something ridiculous. Someone will have to check that. But it's something.
Listeners,
so.
Yeah.
Back to the news. So this dude, I hope this wonderful MDMA adventurer legend is not in prison now. But the fact that this
Let's
is a
have a look.
news story in America. Oh, is there more to the?
yeah, let's scroll down.
Sorry guys, let's keep going. We tangented a did.
Oh no, charges are pending.
I like that one of the tags on the official website. What website is this? The Independent.
Yeah.
Is MDMA. So they have.
And weirdly,
Ornithology.
ornithology.
My speciality is MDMA and ornithology.
Oh, fantastic! I'm writing a book about the effects of MDMA on swans. This is amazing.
I can't imagine, to be honest, though, somebody being very high on ecstasy in a field somewhere, really gaining quite a lot of pleasure from just watching the birds, just realising
Yeah.
the patterns and the flows of life. And tangent again. an old Jamaican guy I used to know, Percy, he's dead now, God rest his soul. We were having a joint in his back garden. He was just pointing out to me, he was like, have you ever just looked at the birds and watched them? And I was like, oh, not really. I was young, you know. And he was talking about, he was giving every little bird a character and a story, and like, he's like, look, that's his missus there, look, and that one's trying to get his missus. And look, now he's showing him that he's too hard for him to go, and like now he's getting his mate to do it. And you're watching it, you're like, oh, they do actually. There's a whole fucking. Watch them for 10 minutes. There's Coronation Street in the sky happening with birds. Trust me, they're all fighting over each other's women, they're all showing off to each other, giving it some. Just watch them for a bit.
Or do you think the birds are actually more intelligent than we know and they're plotting some kind of takeover?
That's possible, and I have considered that before. It is terrifying, isn't it? Because they are the. What
if they're actually engineering world events, the birds? They're everywhere.
Well, we don't understand the language, do we?
Exactly.
But hang on, am I right in thinking, is it proven that dinosaurs turned to birds, or is that just what is it
a couple of species did. A couple of species did, yeah.
Kind of, not all of them, but a lot of them, that is where they evolved to, that was their evolution to birds. So, birds have a connection all the way back right through something happened on the computer then, I think it.
There's a notification for me. I've got a new follower on Twitter.
Oh no!
Oh,
that's a big sin.
That is a big sin.
Ciao, Hannah. You just cost me like 25 million beers because we're actually recording the podcast and I forgot to turn my phone off. We're recording right now.
Can I say a big personal thank you for all that beer?
Could you say hello into the mic, and then I'm going to have to love you and leave you and buy everyone like 1,200 beers. Is that okay? I'm so sorry. I forgot. I should not have answered. I should turn my phone up, but I thought because you're ringing from Italy, it would be good for the podcast. Yeah, I'm drunk and recording. So, listen, I'm sorry to all the listeners. Hannah, I'll give you a call in a bit. Ciao. Ciao, ciao, ciao.
That is...
I'm so sorry, guys. No one told me.
3? I think that's lenient.
No. Well, there's a fucking bag full of beers there, and nobody said to me, is your phone on flight mode?
I was now 21 episodes in. I'm expecting it to be second nature.
I had to... So, look, we have a fan in Italy. I don't know if any of that came up on the microphone, her talking, but yeah. So sorry, guys. And now everyone knows what my ringtone is as well.
I have no issue with that ringtone.
It gives me joy every single time.
I bet it does.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
I bet it does.
I'm Pavlovian response programmed that music kicking in means my hero's coming and the bad guy's about to get his ass whipped. Because that's the way they program you with WWE. Somebody's getting beaten up, somebody's going to help him. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. And that's why Hogan was never really a very successful heel.
Well, some would argue he's one of the most successful heels of all time, based on how good he was as a good guy. We've lost Mike for a minute, but he's constructing a marijuana cigarette, so we can have this discussion.
Fantastic. But the fans eventually did get bored of it. They wanted him to go good again, and
to be honest,
that was the same in TNA as well. He started off as he did the heel turn in that, and it was just a bit shit, and
he'd lost it, but he was a bit arrogant by the time. I couldn't watch any of that, even though he's my hero. I couldn't. I was like, I don't know what he's doing here. But the thing, what I will always remember,
he got his daughter involved.
Yeah, but you can never take the memory away, which is exactly, it is true what you're saying. So in WCW, he was a great heel. Some could argue the NWO was responsible for starting the kind of alternative where wrestling got more adult and a bit attitudey. And he was great in that little run in WCW. But then look, he went back to WWE and fought The Rock, WrestleMania 18. And I'll never forget that night.
Actually, I've seen that match. I have seen it. It was a great match.
He went into that match still wearing the black and white as Hollywood Hogan.
And the belt. Don't forget the belt.
And The Rock was a babyface, big time babyface at the time. But the crowd, you watch that match, physically nothing that great happened. But that audience makes that match one of the greatest in history.
Yeah, it does.
Because they split down the middle and half of them went, no, it's Hogan for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
He's not a bad guy. He can't be. Exactly like you were saying, he couldn't They wanted him to be that good guy again so badly.
And he made one of the greatest Christmas films ever.
Santa with muscles.
Let's that one's up for debate.
Well, yeah.
So
So
I firmly believe there are no good
Good
Christmas
morning,
films.
Ben.
let's go.
Oh, Mike's cut us off, man.
No, but I do think it's
I
funny.
do remember the match because half the crowd are shouting "Let's go
Sorry.
Hogan" and half the crowd are shouting "Let's." But I think Hogan took like 3 rock bottoms in a row and then
to
eventually
finish
got
it.
pinned.
That's the way.
He missed the chance on the leg drop, if I remember rightly.
It took 3 rock bottoms, bro.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
the man. So
And he hooked up.
I do like the fact that when we both drink,
Yeah.
this is obviously all over the place, dear listener. But I think this is going to be fun to listen back to. Science Officer Mike is steering the ship. You can
Yeah.
keep us on course,
Yeah.
kind of.
I'm
What are we on
supposed to be
about now?
my job, but fuck it, I'm off tonight.
Well,
I've
exactly.
finished work now.
We broke up. What are we on about?
Right, anyway, here we go.
Oh, news.
End Times prophets beg Trump to give Americans a last chance to repent before unleashing Trumpocalypse.
Oh my god.
Now,
You're
my-
not saying to anything.
Now this is my
Even the apocalypse.
now you see this is my concern with this.
Has he copyrighted the term?
Upon reading that headline, I
It's
thought
not the apocalypse,
I
that's
thought-
fake news.
I thought yeah,
It's
this
a Trump apocalypse.
This is
Fake
all my
news.
responsibility, and this is my issue with it. Because now that will boost his ego so fucking much, it'll encourage him to actually bloody
Yeah.
end the world. Don't. Anyway, scroll down for me, Michael.
Who are
please.
these prophets, Mike?
They are a certain sect of American evangelical Christians believing that Donald Trump has been chosen by God to bring about the end of the world.
And these people are number 2 in
The White
the
House.
White House.
Yes, they
That's
are.
how far they go up.
If Trump gets impeached, Mike Pence takes over. He represents these people effectively. So, in a way, we need to keep Trump there for at least 4 years.
Well, that's fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
But he thinks they should have at least two end times prophets, or at least 2. Think the president ought to give Americans one last chance to redeem themselves before unleashing his Trumpocalypse.
can
That's
I
nice
just
of him.
can I
Yeah.
just check what's the actual technical definition of repent? Is that to admit your sins before you go before God?
That's right.
Right.
And get forgiven for them, more
Forgiven,
importantly.
Oh, so if nobody forgives you, you're not repenting then.
No, but God always forgives.
Of course he does.
So what the fuck's everyone bothered about for then?
Well, because some people don't believe in it and they won't repent.
I ain't repenting shit.
If he always forgives, why is anyone bothered? Just do what you
Because the
fucking
ones-
want.
The ones that don't
Ah,
repent.
I found a loophole.
There's the catch-22, because you have a serial killer repents before execution, is absolved of his sins, gets into heaven.
He's one of God's children.
That's them's the rules, baby.
Them's the rules. But yeah, Paul Maguire and Troy Anderson, who are co-authors of an upcoming book called Trumpocalypse, The End Times President, a battle against the globalist elite and the countdown to Armageddon, are trying to personally lobby Trump to declare an official call for national repentance in which Americans will be encouraged to ask God for the forgiveness of their sins.
How does one go about initiating a mass nationwide repentance? What, is Trump supposed to go on like TV and it goes on every channel? Like, no, I want everybody to get together and at the same time we're going to count to 3, okay? Okay,
I'll
I'm
count.
the best counter. I count better than anybody. Okay, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3 and we're going to repent, okay? How does that work?
You know he'd fuck it up when he
It's a repentance. Oh, shit.
1, 2, 4. He'd do it fine when he goes 1, 2, 3, and then he'd go 1, 2, 4, 3.
Oh, shoot.
You know he'd do it.
So how does this work? How do they envisage getting an entire country to repent at once?
I don't know, but a minister, they say quotation marks, a minister friend of ours is working with the White House and members of Congress on a congressional resolution that will call for this National Day of Repentance, end quote. Anderson explained during an interview with Christian online news Skywatch TV, the idea is that from the Oval Office he would read the Lincoln Proclamation, repent of American sins before God, and there will be a day-long event.
Oh, he'd do the repenting on behalf?
He would do it all. He would read from the whatever the Lincoln Proclamation is.
Oh, well, that's it then. They don't have to do anything.
And then they'd all, I suppose, walk around in drab clothes, not with any heating on, and, punish themselves for a day.
And ascend to heaven.
And it's then, well,
The rapture, isn't it?
well, let's go scroll down the article and see how they think the world's going to end, because he's made a very important decision for these boys.
Today will no longer be
Right.
known as our Independence Day. It will be our Repentance Day.
That's it.
You
That's
see,
all there is.
the thing is, by putting as a bit geopolitical here, by saying that Israel's moving the US embassy to Jerusalem has caused a bit of a thing for these evangelicals, because apparently when Jerusalem is recognised as the capital of Israel, which moving the embassy to it suggests it is, that will hasten the end time. So
Yeah.
Trump is now being seen as a prophet of the
When
end
Israel
times.
Oh,
becomes
no.
Zion and becomes a full state, I reckon that's when it's going to happen, isn't it?
Yeah, well, so moving the US embassy there, well, is Jerusalem being recognised as the capital of Israel?
Yeah.
It's currently split. They're basically saying it's a Christian thing again, and there we go.
This is their move, obviously, isn't it?
This is their move. So this is the, and the problem is with these people, they'll press the button because they don't see a difference between this life and the next.
So
it's fucking horrible. It's terrifying. Genuinely, it's
I
terrifying.
know this is it is a stupid question. I kind of know the answer. I think. Well, we're creating audio. So a genuine hardcore Christian, I don't know. There's so many different fucking types, but your basic average fucking Christian does believe then that the prophecy is the end time is coming.
Oh yeah, it's a very big industry at the minute.
Even your most happy, lovey-dovey.
Oh, there's a lot of them are preppers as well. To be fair.
No, but do you get what I'm saying? Like even so.
I was a prepper, but that's a totally different thing.
Hey, did you get what?
Hey.
No, sorry, I was thinking of something else. I was thinking of fluffer.
What, you were a fluffer in the porn industry, Mike? You were responsible for keeping men erect during takes.
They were dark times.
And this is why he hates the Tory government, because he had to jack off men for a living.
But
Namely, the Tory government.
no, this is quite a revelation to me that in a way, it's quite,
What's a prepper, Ben?
a prepper's someone who.
A prepper is someone who preps for the end of the world.
They're
How
an
do they-
Alex
how do they
Jones
prep?
listener.
You have a bunker, you store
Oh, they got the full
supplies,
hog.
you have weapons.
You go full Alex.
Yeah.
You listen to Alex Jones every day for 5 hours,
shit,
and you
yeah.
believe within 3 seconds that you need. He sells apparently. I mean, I've had this rant before. Sorry, I'm repeating myself, but yeah, he sells body armor,
Yeah,
fucking
yeah. I
food
mean,
that will last for 20, freeze-dried food that lasts for 30 years. It's in the man
Yeah.
is. It's an industry.
Yeah.
Prepping.
And I'm sure that they got done for
Does it
selling
exist?
something with high
Sorry.
levels of mercury in it.
Oh, does the prepping thing exist in Britain
I'd imagine.
the way it does in the States, or the way we are led to believe it does?
I'd imagine there are. I mean, even I have an apocalypse cupboard, Gaz. I mean, where I keep all the canned food I don't really like very much. It's my apocalypse cupboard.
On that point, can we pause it?
Mm-hmm.
It's only a wee in the apocalypse cupboard. It's a Christmas
Yeah.
episode.
It's a Christmas
We're
episode.
recording again.
recording
We're back.
again.
Sorry for the disjointedness, but we did say at the front.
This is our Christmas party,
Yeah,
effectively.
basically, this is
Never
our
mind,
stuff
please,
too. So yeah, we'll move on. You, the listener, will remember what we were talking about a minute ago, but we don't. So we're moving swiftly on to the next news story.
Christmas news.
It was big news because we were talking about the. I can remember. So we were talking about the Trumpocalypse.
That's
So
it.
basically, we're all fucked. These people get in, we're all fucked. There you
That's
go. Next news article.
Next is like, you're not magic, you don't even have a fucking sleigh. Santa subjected to extraordinary abusive rant in shopping centre. The angry woman called Father Christmas a fucking dickhead and berated him for not having a sleigh.
That is modern Britain. That is without a doubt modern Britain.
And I bet she had a baby in her arms
Yeah.
at the time and one in a pram. And one hanging off the handlebars of the pram. You're a fucking dickhead, Santa! You fucking prick, where's your sleigh?
And she was in
Where
Canada.
was it
It was in
actually?
Canada.
Oh shit, sorry, I presumed she was a Scouser.
Gaz, that's completely understandable. I thought this would have been Britain.
Oh shit, that's me, but oh fuck.
Canada,
why I
I'm
don't get-
genuinely surprised Canada, because aren't the Canadians considered to be quite friendly?
Yeah, quite passive.
Internationally, yeah, they're renowned, like us, as being polite. They say sorry a lot, don't they?
Sorry, eh?
Sorry,
Yeah,
eh?
can I just read the one quote, please? Because I think it's hilarious. Footage shows the unnamed woman screaming, "You're not magic! You're not even real!" Santa brushed it off and did not engage with the woman. You know what? Fair play to Santa.
He took the high road. Good on
I
you.
know you used to be green until the Coca-Cola company got hold of you, but
That's one of my conspiracies. Okay, Santa, anagram for Satan.
Yep.
hail him. Friend of the show.
He was green, wasn't he?
He was Satan. He was.
No, not
Saint Nick, that's another name for Satan.
Oh shit.
Old Nick.
But
I was old Nick.
okay,
Old Nick.
but
Well,
Santa,
similar.
Similar.
Santa was green though, wasn't
So
he?
was Satan, actually.
Yeah, but okay, but
Yeah.
Santa and the Coca-Cola company, they turned him red, didn't they?
They
Do you
did.
know this, right?
Mhm.
Are the Coca-Cola company in cahoots? Are they spreading the message of Satanism, devil worship, corporate?
Well, apparently
Worship.
the logo of Coca-Cola, you can see a 666.
Well,
That just deepens it.
and it will rot your teeth.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. The teeth are an offering.
Satan, Santa, red, Coke. Holidays are coming, holidays are
Yeah.
coming,
I think-
diabetes is coming, tough rot is coming.
I
Right?
think what Santa's all about, it's all about wanting stuff, wanting gifts, isn't it?
Need, and you don't do anything. And he says, you better be good, you better be nice, but that's bollocks. How long, you only get away with that as a parent for like 24 days, basically.
Yeah.
The rest of the year, nobody gives a shit. Santa's not there, he's not a religious figure guiding you, it's not a lifestyle choice, is it? It's literally, like you said, it's, oh, I'll behave myself for the next few days, do what mum and dad say, to get massive, not physical, what's the word, material reward,
Yeah.
right?
That's it.
Now,
Nothing spiritual about it, nothing,
Enriching.
and nothing, no
Well, it is
feel
enriching 'cause
compassion in it.
Well, no, because you're not thinking about the other people that haven't got all that. You're
Right.
just thinking about
Yeah.
what you've got on you.
but there are... No, we
It's
did.
materialism. It's they live, basically. Fill your lives with this.
Where's the traditional Christmas spirit of giving to the poor and clothing the naked?
I don't like clothing, especially the women.
That is actually one of the traditional things at Christmas.
Clothing naked. Well, I
Always
did...
clothe naked people at Christmas.
Oh, it's cold, I suppose.
Every day's a school day, and today I did Google age 34, why is Boxing Day called Boxing Day? And
I was assumed it had something to do with boxing.
I honestly I'd never contemplated
Boxing
it
of
before.
presents.
Yeah, it was like
Give to the poor.
the church. Well, people, the common sort of urban thing, myth, not urban myth,
Like
but
was it when the rich landowner cooked the meal for the servants?
there's two of them yet. It's basically the one. People think, oh, it's the rich people the day after boxed up their old things and gave them out. No, it was the church. The church boxed things up and gave them out the day after Christmas. And then there's the second one, Mike, where servants, obviously on Christmas Day, all day would be working to keep the house running for their masters. But then the day after was their day where they were given boxes of stuff, basically, I don't know, food,
I
leftovers,
thought they
whatever.
were cooked for and waited on.
Oh, they actually. Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
know that bit. I just saw it was something to do with the day. That was their day, basically. They served their masters the day before, and then.
You see, even that tradition's gone.
Mm.
The rich don't even do fuck all on
Yeah,
Boxing Day
single
now.
millionaire has never come round to my house to cook my dinner for me.
No, it's totally.
What a bunch of cunts.
It's a death, but don't you think how tragic? Do you
Why's
think?
it Gordon Ramsay turned up and
And
did
they
my
never
fucking
clothed
Christmas
me.
dinner?
They never clothed me when I was naked.
No, I'll tell you one
No,
thing.
mate, that was your nudist phase.
One thing that does piss me off, though, like I said, look, I'm not the biggest Christmas fan, but I'm not a hate. Like, I had a period in my life where I despised Christmas, basically. A few years of my life where, because of my own personal outlook on life at that time, Christmas was the anti of what I was feeling, you know, like, bleh. But this year, you know, I'm feeling it a little bit this year for the first time in a long time, but, and I fucking lost my train of thought with that bollocks. Why did I start
It's only
that?
because you loved up.
Yeah, that's it. Oh!
I don't mean that in a bad way.
No,
Just
no,
joking.
no. Fuck, I've lost it, but I had a good fucking point to make about why...
Experiencing technical problems.
We are.
Gaz's brain is
We're
experiencing
Gaz's brain.
technical problems.
Let's move on swiftly.
Okay,
Right, what's
one
it?
more news.
I lost it. Oh, it'll come back.
God robot.
Oh!
Oh,
People will worship AI Messiah in way of the future religion.
We
Wow.
already do. Read it out though. But...
Okay, it's from the Daily Star by Rachel O'Donoghue. Former Google and Uber engineer Anthony Lewandowski founded AI-based religion, the way of the future, so people can worship a God-Head robot that is 1 billion times smarter than humans.
Can I just say that Anton Lewandowski sounds a lot like Anton LaVey?
It does a bit.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
That's makes me think that this might be bullshit.
Now, if you think
From
that
the Daily Star.
wait,
No, actually, it's in the Daily Star. They're credible.
There's a link to the website.
Can you help me then, Matt?
He's changed his name then.
I think my brain might fall down an even worse hole now then, because I think what I'm about to say I've already discussed, but I think on one that hasn't been released yet. So I'm talking before and after myself, but I'm going to say it anyway. Remember, sorry listeners if you heard this story before, I can't work out where I am in our own timeline, but but my friend in Italy, I have a couple of friends in Italy, have I mentioned that? I'm so cool. But one of them, we were just casually chilling, and I needed to know something. She went, "Oh, ask God." And I said, "What do you mean?" She went, "Ask God." I said, "What?" And she's like, "Ask Google." Oh, she's like, "Call it God because it has all the answers." You know, she's in Italy, which is still, there's some religious things happening in Milan. There's the fucking cathedrals there and that. She's like, everyone else talks to God. I get the real answers from the real God, Google. So I had this idea then where I thought, ooh, I'm going to invent the Church of Google.
Right.
But you always, if you have an idea creatively, you should Google it first, ironically, to check that somebody... Because if it's a good idea, the chances are it has been already thought.
Yeah.
And that's just the rule. So I Googled it, and it's an actual thing, but not a joke thing like I meant it to be. There's actual college, intellectual people theorising that Google literally passes all the check marks to qualify as a deity.
Fucking hell.
Think about it.
So that means I can't be an atheist because I use Google.
Think about it. What is God supposed to... What answer...
Omnipresent.
What answer can't you get from Google?
Exactly. No
Directions, even. I'll never be lost. I've got to get my way home from here tonight. I've never not driven, and Google's going to guide me, right? Anything I need to know calculation-wise, things I can't do mathematics, but with Google I can. I have... It's a day...
and now think about that, what we got now. Think about maybe in 20, 30 years when we got an AI, one of them, that can predict everything that you like, everything you want. So, you'd have an AI robot or some kind of interface.
Have you read the Red Dwarf novel? Have you read the novels? Is it in Last Human where there's a gelf that is sensitive to you? It literally forms in front of you without you thinking about it, exactly what you want it to be without you. And you're like, why are you being that? And she's like, well, this is what you want. And you're, do I? Well, yeah, it knows more than you because it's in your subconscious. And like, this is what, this Alexa thing from Google. And just a brief, if anyone doesn't know, it's that voice-activated hub from Amazon. And I've been trying to work on this as a bit and to write down as maybe a poem or like a little sketch or something where on the adverts are like, Alexa, give me the recipe for thingy. Alexa, can you play my favourite song? And then, Alexa, can you build a detailed consumer profile of me and every single member of my family in order to pinpoint exact psychologically programmed adverts to each and every single one of us in order to extract money from us in ever more increasingly sophisticated fucking ways. This is creepy as shit. But everyone's just like, it's so cool. It's like, oh, Alexa, play my favourite song. Fuck you, man. That is fucked. It's a bug, isn't it? Isn't it? You're linking your home to the internet. And you could say if you've got nothing to hide, if you're one of them wankers. But I've got nothing to hide, but I still want to protect my privacy because it's a basic right, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
And that's not a wrong-minded way to... So I think you're mental to have one of them.
If someone's listening, you act in a completely different way.
Of course.
So if you're bugged 24/7, you're not going to start doing things and speaking your mind. You're going to want to keep within them parameters.
And if you ask it if it works for the CIA, it will not answer you.
And if you
It's
say...
been done.
And look,
It's been done. People say, because obviously people have realised it's a really easy way to bug your house.
Yeah.
I mean, you can guarantee your internet's being fucking rude to the damn thing
Well, they've
covertly.
admitted to it. They've admitted to doing this.
And even on a most
Proven.
basic, simple level, just to be... The three of us sat here are green enthusiasts, shall we say. Yeah?
Yeah.
And we all have to communicate with someone in order to get hold of it, don't we?
Yeah.
If
Well,
fucking
thank God for that, though,
Alexa...
you went the environment for a second, when you were green enthusiasts.
Well, you know, I don't want to be too we love weed, right?
We used to call it a new CD.
But if
Yeah,
Alexa's
true.
sitting there listening to every little, it's just and never mind that. That's the silly side of your brain, really. That's the arrogant side. Oh, they're listening to my. No, it's not. Who cares if we buy £10 of marijuana? It's more the sinister side to me is more building up the profile of you to sell you shit, because that is what it is essentially going to learn your taste. It's going to have such a detail, and like you say, Mike, that AI, sorry, can only get more intelligent and in tune to us and know more about us, that it's going to manipulate us in ways where we don't know we're being manipulated, and and it's all about that dollar and separating that money from us.
Yep, that's
It's such a strange, sick, weird thing, but how nice is it if you don't think about it? Isn't it lovely?
Yeah.
But how nice would it be to have an AI that was working for good instead of evil purposes, and was able to control all the world's resources, and funnel it to where it was needed, do all the mathematical problems that were needed to
In
get
a
all
completely
sorted.
fair mathematical...
Yeah.
Is math... Okay, maybe this is too deep for my own brain, sorry, but is maths the purest thing?
Yeah,
Apparently so. It is known as
Because-
the la lingua pura mathematics.
Because it's beyond, like, sort of political, emotional...
Yeah, it's basically, it's there, it's proven, there you go, bang. It's on
And it's
paper.
beyond
They do
my
think
brain.
that if aliens are going to communicate, it's going to be in mathematics, because it's pure and it's universal.
And I do wish I understood it. But I understand, though. What I do appreciate is I understand its importance. I'm glad that I do appreciate that I can comprehend that. My brain can get to that level to comprehend how important maths is. But then there's a whole other level of human thinking that my brain isn't really
Yeah, it baffles the shit out of me.
capable of.
E
And that's
equals
fine.
E equals MC squared, all that's maths.
Infinity, I don't understand infinity.
All I know is
pretend
it's,
to,
it's
but
a little Ouroboros on Revenge of Shinobi on the Mega Drive. We had unlimited shurikens. It was that little Ouroboros symbol, that figure 8.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
And there was the
bang.
cheat you could do, really simple cheat to get like unlimited shoot. Anyway, look, these thoughts, these kinds of things, they are interesting to contemplate, but sometimes I find it's terrifying. And I'm sometimes jealous. I don't want to say, oh, I'm such a high... Like, we've literally just said, our brains go to a certain level, and we're fully aware that there are people...
Yep.
There are way more levels than our brains go.
Oh, God,
there are, like, dozens of levels above us. But don't you sometimes wish you were a few dozen levels below?
What, you mean when like I found reality TV entertaining?
Yes, in a peaceful way. Don't you wish
Goes
that
back
we
to
didn't
the,
have this need? Because look, we love doing this, and this is super fun, and I love doing it, and I wouldn't change it for nothing. But the fact that we feel the need to question these things and think, sometimes wouldn't it be so much
It goes back
simpler
to,
if you could just...
Not the saying ignorance is bliss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good links back to our Matrix episode.
Yeah.
Cypher himself
If
said that.
ignorance is bliss, why aren't more people happy?
They are.
But they are though. Yeah, they
They've got-
are
they've got
eating
a-
their Gregs.
They're happy with
Eating the
fact
Gregs,
that-
they've got their 50-inch TV from Bright House.
Mm.
They're watching I'm a Celebrity. They got
Government covers their fucking.
government
thingy.
covers the rent. There you go. They're happy, aren't they? They just consumers.
Never
What money they do
right.
have, they just blow.
And they've got these little kids that are always going to worship them and look up to them, no matter how shitty they are and rubbish, because that's all them kids know, and like that's how they make themselves feel worthwhile, by regenerating themselves, and it's just like,
Cycle continues, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
man, I hate to quit. They're not, you know, I love this band. I loved them as a youth. I haven't listened to them for years, but The Offspring had such... It was just an album track, and it's always stuck with me, because lyrically I thought, whoa. Even when I was 17, I got this. You know the one, I don't even know what the song's called, but it's like, age 17...
Kids on alright.
No, hang on. I know this is bad audio, but it's like, a drunk father, an angry father beats his kids the same old way his drunken
Oh, yeah.
father
Yeah,
did.
Down the line.
Yeah, down the
Oh.
line. It talks about fat parents have
Yeah.
fat kids, welfare
Horrible
mums
song,
have
but
welfare.
lyrically, yeah.
It goes down the line. It keeps going. Angry parent gets drunk, beats his kid, and yeah, you grow up. Some people break out of it, don't they?
They do.
A lot of people.
They do. I know a couple
resist
who
what
have.
they've grown up with, but then I think there's something so natural about imprinting and biology, the way you just know it, what you
Social
grew up around.
acceptance is massive.
But I've known
People don't want to veer away from the herd.
That's it.
Because once you are, you become more isolated. You know.
It's great because I've always been okay being alone. I love because I'm such a weird like mix of it. I think I'm called an introvert extrovert. I think that's the
Very new age.
but because obviously I can't deny it. There is lots of examples of me being very extrovert, going on stage, doing things, right? But all the time that's happening on the inside, I'm fucking losing my mind. Like the analogy of the fucking swan, you know, I'm on the top, underneath, like there. And I'm very socially anxious. People think, because I'm capable of those things, there's an assumption that I'm uber confident all the time. But socially, I'm anxious as fuck, and it gets worse as I get older. Like in big groups of new people, I'm like, ugh. But I can put on like a fake, hey, and do it.
I know what you mean.
Throw some beers down, and like, oh, he's. But then everyone thinks, oh, he's off his head. Him.
I much prefer being in sort of the alternative crowd because they're more open-minded. You know what I mean? More.
I still just find it's weird. Introvert, extrovert. It's very strange. Like obviously doing this now, podcast. I'm very happy sharing my deepest opinions, things. But put me in a room with some new people, I'm either gonna shrink and disappear or down a few things and go well over the top. But it's but I think we've all three of us here got a bit of that in us because obviously we're a bit tame in some ways, you know, sit back and just sort of do what we want to do, and but in other ways we're not. Oh, what am I
We're slaves to the culture as well.
We are.
We're probably raised on the autism spectrum too, in all fairness.
Possibly. I've always wondered about myself.
Yeah, genuinely, I've always but I'm on there. I genuinely think I'm gonna be. You know what? I'm gonna be on there somewhere.
I need to actually clink your drink for that one. That's quite possibly very true. It's to the autistic scale.
Genuinely, those to myself, gonna be on there somehow. Because I think I've got weird as I got older. I'll definitely say that.
Well, the question was, would you worship an AI god?
Nah, I ain't worshipping Jack.
Oh yeah, we're not getting back to the fucking.
I ain't worshipping Jack. There you go.
But think though,
it's gonna have to send an army of Terminators after me.
Yeah, well, remember what I said about Google and about how our relationship with Google is. Think about now. Then this might be a slight tangent, but it's try and compare ourselves now to a monk. You guys are more historically knowledgeable than me. When would a monk who was very religious be in the hills of Wales, like you know,
you're talking
going up to his chapel?
The Dark Ages, like sort of 500 to 1000 AD kind of thing.
But he's got the Bible, right? Not the New James Testament, but he's got some Bible, right? Okay, and that's where he's going for every answer he needs. Everything that pops up in his life, every dilemma, where does he go for guidance? To this book. Is there a story or a fable, something in this book?
Yeah, that's what you mean.
Right? What the fuck is the difference between that? Between every time you and me need an answer, or Mike needs an answer, we put it in fucking Google.
Yeah, it's true.
And Google tells us the fucking answer.
Yeah.
Without us knowing it, without us bowing down and wearing anything special and giving any money over, Google is our fucking
that's
God.
important. I like the no chastity thing that we've got going on.
We're way off the kind of, this is connected to this news story, but seriously, Google is our fucking church. It is our God, our life. Come on.
Yeah.
Tell me the next time you go 3 days without using Google.
Yeah, all right. I'm not.
What do you use instead?
I use DuckDuckGo, I think it's called.
But that's alright, you support Allah and we support God. Come on, it's fucking up. And now we're going to have to fight Mike!
Does that mean he's going to blow himself up? Oh man, that was
bad. I'm strapped.
Don't punch me, Mike.
And when Mike hijacks a plane and me and Gaz will broadcast the entire thing live via Skype.
Everyone's entitled to their views. But like this, like you said there, to try and wrap this news story up, Mike said the AI is only going to improve exponentially. So now Google's a sort of inactive, not the word, it's not interactive. Yes. We just ask it questions and it it's a bland thing. It will be it'll be a personality, won't it?
God, yeah.
That is suited. It will use our subconscious to form itself to be our exact what we want to see, and it will float around.
You're probably gonna fuck it at some point.
Oh, I will fuck it. Sorry, Leona. I said a name, but anyway, you can find it on the page. Anyway, yes, I will fuck the Google space ghost.
Why not?
I will.
Everyone will.
I won't. I know I won't be exactly. No one will go outside.
It'll probably get into a clone. So it's just an empty sort of shell.
It'll model itself
Human,
to look.
you know, so it's been grown in a lab to your specification. She's done all this before you were born, or you know, before you. Do you know what I mean? And then.
But then I think one of the most. So we've gone on the jokey side of. Okay, well, I'm not even joking. Google is a deity in a way. So, but then this AI. Then did you mention something earlier, Mike? This AI. What if all cities and life is automated?
Yeah.
What does that look like? And how does like?
How do we get any money?
We don't have money. It's called a resource-based economy.
What does that mean?
It means that
And that's a genuine question.
Yeah.
Like, how do, like,
well, I'm not an expert on it.
can you give me a basic? I've never heard that before. So,
Well,
is
well,
that the
well,
opposite of
crops.
capitalism then? Like, just give me a
Pretty
basic.
different, yeah, basically, it's about meeting people's needs. So all the sort of resources are pulled together.
All the profits.
No profits, no money. Everything that people need. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's sort of there for you to use, like a library. So people wouldn't own like garden tools. You just go.
All right.
You send in the post, it come to you.
Gotcha. So you can, what about food and stuff like that? I mean.
Or food would be you'd be growing. You
You
just go to
growing your own
restaurants
stuff?
and it'd be distributed equally, and people.
Oh, right, so you just eat out of it.
Yeah. So people want to be chefs. They don't. Nobody works in this economy. You might do sort of like minimal sort of 4 hours a week, some kind of community work and that.
Yeah.
Because you still need some people to do some sort of work.
Well, yeah, the bins are still gonna be empty, but then you have
Most
the
of, it
robots.
most of it will be automated.
Yeah.
That's what I don't understand. Like,
So yeah, well, you wouldn't need. You wouldn't. Oh, would you? The only people you need. The thing is, this all brings us back to the Terminator question.
Well,
you can't let the machines control everything.
I'm sorry
Can
to
you?
quote myself.
An AI computer will be able to do it.
I know, but you still need a
Like,
person to give the yay or nay before you get let the AI take that decision over.
Well, it would just allocate the resources. So
Right.
Yeah, but you're still gonna let that. At some point, you've got to
it
put
learns
that
a
machine
pattern.
in,
It learns a pattern of what people
Yeah, and
are
when
eating in
it
that
become-
city, for example, and it would just sort of.
and then it'll become self-aware. We all know where this goes down.
Well, yeah.
Has anyone got a small reserve? I did have some somewhere. But Mike, sorry, I hate to quote myself. Oh yeah, I hate to quote myself, but to anybody listening, I did write and record in a professional studio a 90-minute audiobook called Mechafile, available at www.podbean.mechafile.com. In that
Nice plug.
book, I
Very
did sort of say, as a joke, 'cause it's a sort of sci-fi comedy, and the very first sort of opening page, I say like, I try and set the scene that all manual labour is illegal due to health and safety law. Robots do everything, apart from, I think the line is something like humans basically grease the machines and do paperwork and cook food, I think I put.
Yeah.
Because robots can't really
Well,
cook.
no, you can go online now. You can see robots cooking food.
Oh, fucking hell, really?
They can perform surgery
Oh,
now.
so my book.
Jesus, can they?
Yeah.
Wouldn't they be technically the
Do
perfect
you know one of the
surgeons?
things? I'm sorry, I'm going
no,
to do
it
it again. I'm sorry to do it again, but listen, Mike. Sorry, listen. Get my book if you want it. Maybe, guys, I'm going to ask you live on air, so you're forced to do it. So the book's 90 minutes long, and I have to pay a lot of money to keep it online every year. Can I just release it as an episode of the Apocalypse
Yeah, man.
one week,
yeah,
and then I don't have to pay that money anymore, and it will exist as an episode of the podcast. We just record an intro and
Yeah.
saves us a week, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you go on the
I love
lash.
you guys, thank you. So, but in that book though, I also say that there's a robot character who goes rogue, but he can't get the hang of changing gears in a car, because although he might be, I don't explain it in detail in the book, but this is my thinking behind it, is that as smart as they are, changing gears is there's a feel.
Gotcha.
You know, there's something, and you can do it as technically as you want, watching the revs, but it's something about knowing your vehicle and knowing when there's a feel to it. And a robot trying to do it extremely technically, and he's always in the wrong, he's getting it wrong.
As he's crunching.
Yeah, and that's my thing is that yes, they can, like you said, I was surprised you said they could cook, Mike. That's blagged me, because
Yeah, man.
maybe cooking I'd have thought was maybe a bit of knowing how heavily to whisk it, you know, how
You know, I'm not
maybe
sure
there's a bit of
it's-
artistry to it that they can't get.
I'm not sure.
I'd
It's
love to think, I
five-star-
want to think, guys, please.
I'm not sure it's like 5-star restaurant stuff. I mean,
He would have bought an egg.
Or you
I
can
think
fry
it's
an
the sort
egg
of
or
thing you
something.
can do,
Okay,
yeah.
alright, well, I'm not, alright, that's better then, because I want to think, there's no way, if they can start doing things that, because some of the best things about humanity are the things we can do artistically and like, that, you know,
And
no,
food is
nothing
one of them.
else. Yeah, it
Yeah,
is, I suppose, but then I just don't want them being able to write symphonies and paint. That's going to
Have
really
you not
weird
heard
me
the
out then.
robotic metal band?
Oh no.
Oh,
There's
shit.
actually a
Yeah.
band of robots that play metal,
Like a computer
and
program.
they've actually composed it themselves.
Oh, you don't. This
No.
isn't good. You don't know how to do shit like that.
Don't.
I've actually
no.
listened to it. It's not great.
Is that
Oh, thank God. Yeah, but they're learning. That's the problem.
Yeah, they're starting.
The next
Everyone
time will be
starts
better.
somewhere.
But it would
Remember
pass
how
off.
our first podcast sounded?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We didn't even know we
Yeah.
needed a microphone. So everything evolves and oh.
Shit. All right, you know
I tell
what?
you, man, the robots are coming. The robots are
It
coming.
really-
The
Joe
robots
Rogan,
are
man.
coming. The robots are coming. Right. Anyway, let's move off of this and actually get to some of our Christmas shit.
Okay, let's have a break then.
Go on,
Let's
Ed.
pause a minute and then we'll tell our tales of Christmas tragedy and
Hey.
demons.
Merry
Some more
Christmas.
pink Caribbean twist.
Nice plug there, Mike. You fucking little chill. We're back from an extended break. You can't tell because it's so seamless in the editing.
It's the
We
magic of audio.
We probably chatted shit for a good hour there.
Yeah, well, it's a Christmas party.
Exactly.
Isn't it? That's
This-
what everyone needs to understand. This is
So
our
what-
works do.
Yeah.
It's gonna fuck up with the continuity because we're gonna be 1 hour more wasted than we were in the last one.
A good point. So, should I start with a Christmas tragedy?
Yeah.
Because we decided that we're gonna
It's
have
Christmas.
we're not gonna have a traditional happy Christmas episode. We're gonna make you depressed as fuck.
Yay! Well,
Right? Well, not depressed as fuck, but we're gonna throw a bit of everything in there. Bad shit that's happened at Christmas time.
that's our modus operandi. Is just basically weird shit, isn't it? That's what we're into. We're into some weird shit. So we're not gonna. We could regale you with tales of like little Timmy lost his
Yeah.
leg and you know blah blah blah. But let's have some fucking murder
Yeah.
instead.
We are the patron saints of the totally fucked up. So, in 1929, Christmas Day, and the Lawson family murders in North Carolina.
Oh. So what was happening in America in 1929?
We bring you the most recent, up-to-date stuff, don't we?
No, this is,
No, seriously,
No,
that's
joking.
film me in history, boy. Like, no, that sounded
this is Lawson.
Well, history boy.
History boy. That sounded disparaging.
It is
I
called
meant-
the Lawson family murders. Lawson.
When was that history
Oh,
boy?
hey,
It's
history
1929,
boy.
Mike.
What was happening in the fucking 1920s in America?
1929.
Was that the Depression?
Yeah, Great Depression was still lingering
Oh,
on,
so
yeah.
some bad
Yeah.
shit going on in America
Yeah.
in that time.
It was
Unlucky.
Anyway.
the Wall Street crash 29.
Was it? Well, there we go. Well,
Well, that's
43-year-old
all I wanted. Fucking take the piss out of me.
43-year-old Charlie Lawson snapped, quietly picked up a shotgun and systematically murdered his wife and children.
You know what? I think I watched the film on this.
Yeah. Well, he shot 5 of them at close range and then bludgeoned his 4-month-old daughter to death.
What was
Oh, no,
the
they just
film
killed
called,
the
Mike?
They just killed the wife. You know, Thomas Jane was in it.
Oh, the Punisher.
Yeah.
The crap
That
Punisher.
was the one with John Travolta, wasn't it?
The crap Punisher.
Yeah.
There's only one Punisher now, guys. You know
Yeah,
that.
there is only one Punisher.
Basically.
John what's his real name? Benthal?
John Bethnal,
Bethanol.
something like that. Either way,
legend.
Basically,
Legend.
owned a farm.
crack him.
Okay, here we go.
Owned a farm. The wife, the husband, and the kid.
Yeah.
The kid was about 12, something like that. 13. And they're in debt. And the wife wanted to sell the farm and move on, but he wanted to stay and the kid wanted to stay. So they both plotted to murder her, and they did. And they buried her down a well.
Alright, well, this is not that.
I'm so.
He basically, so after he'd killed all 5 of his children and his wife,
Yeah.
he then laid their bodies out on the lawn, crossed their arms, folded their arms across their chest, walked into the nearby woods and blew his brains out.
mate.
Man, he folded the.
He
His
set them
own-
up, he shot them all. He systematically murdered them all, dragged them outside, laid them on the lawn, folded their arms over their chest, and then walked into the woods and blew his brains out.
Was this anything to do with Santa?
No one knows why he did it. He sent his eldest son, Arthur, who was 14, out on an errand before he did it.
Well, the film I was watching, I think, was called 1929. And it was based on a Stephen King book. I've just remembered. So maybe that was an inspiration.
Maybe.
Might have been.
Maybe.
I believe his daughter wanted the latest Tamagotchi, and he simply could not afford it. And or she wanted a Furby or something. And
Man,
I'm being facetious. I'm sorry. Oh, they're all making a comeback. You know, all that sort
hate
of
them.
keep a digital thing alive. It's all coming
You
back.
barely keep yourself alive.
Well, that's the thing. That's the way society is today, Mike. Right? People are more likely to be encouraged to keep alive a digital creature than to actually show some love and compassion to any actual flesh and blood.
Well,
I am slurring a lot of words. I'm sorry.
I read something about the San Francisco SPCA.
What are they?
Society Prevention Cruelty to Animals.
Oh no.
Yeah, and their office building is in central San Francisco, I imagine.
Okay.
And they employed security robots to patrol the office building to deter the homelessness.
Oh,
Wow,
no.
that's very Christmassy.
Yeah, that's nice, isn't it?
Do you know why the homeless people were trying to go to the vets?
Let's get the drugs.
Drugs.
Yeah. Well, apparently they were camping outside by the road.
Yeah,
So they actually had security droids with
I apologise
cats
for
and
coughing.
dogs on.
yeah.
Yeah, to push out the homeless.
Wow.
So how did it? What?
They
hang on.
called the police, you see, because it could sense.
How are
They had
these?
lasers to sense what was going on around.
So these droids are not like fully automated, you know, they're like able-bodied. Well, they can get you
They
in a
go
headlock.
around. You know, remember the one that fell in the
Yeah, the
suicide?
dildo, the butt
Yeah.
plug one that
One
fell
of
in the
them.
pool. Yeah.
It was one of them. Well, there are two of them.
Yeah,
So
but what,
did
but
you-
it's got
did you
arms
just
and it
nudge
can-
him or something?
No arms, but it can just detect what's going on around it, and it alerts the police
chase you up.
automatically.
Oh, right.
To be
The police
fair,
then
So
come and remove them.
didn't like give him a nudge.
Yeah, you might just nudge him off.
I
Yeah.
was going to say,
Keep moving. Keep moving.
to be
keep
fair,
moving.
if we got really drunk one night and we were like going back and we were like, I don't know, trespassing somewhere, just having a laugh, like, you know, we're
Going
like,
cow
somewhere-
tipping.
yeah, you know, and then we saw like an automated butt plug on wheels, like powering
Oh, we
towards
tip
us
that shit.
at full speed. I think we might be scared of that. I think we might
No, we
like to
tip
be
it.
like, holy shit. No, if it's coming at us like full pelt.
Yeah, we'd run for a bit and then we think, you know.
Oh, drop me breeches.
I think
Why are you
I
wearing
shit
breeches?
myself.
Why are you wearing trousers? He's on classic.
I'm sorry for
This
the
is Mike's new Victorian fashion phase. He's bringing it back. He's wearing breeches and a top hat as we speak.
I'm bringing it back, just like Porch Monkey.
I think I'm just. If
You
anyone,
can't
that
say-
is a Clerks 2 reference.
You can't say that.
Anybody listening, that is a reference to the movie
It's
Clerks
not
2.
racist, it's,
Please Google it and send all your complaints to Kevin Smith, the writer and director of that film.
He devised that,
it's
And
lovely.
Mike. So you can play some Mike's.
No, we need Mike's living room.
Oh yeah.
It's our studio. So,
Oh. Hey, do you want to hear the most twisted thing about this whole tale?
Go on.
That Charles's brother Marion then opened the house as a tourist attraction and did quite well of it.
that's
Oh,
not twisted,
lovely.
that's entrepreneurial.
No,
No, I respect him.
because he shot his kids.
Oh, what, the one who killed them opened the museum?
His sister opened the museum.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. His
Yeah.
sister can do that. She's making the best of a tragedy. Her brother, it's not her fault. Her brother turned out to be a massive psycho fuck up, and she's got every right to sort of benefit, if she can, from, in my opinion. It's very disrespectful to the memory of the dead, obviously.
And the
But
fact his eldest son is still alive and trotting round.
them's the rules, baby. That's what Mike said earlier. And, you
Was he a
know,
regular visitor?
capitalism.
I don't know.
Going back to the scene of the crime.
It's
Well,
sick.
she's not going to stay at the hotel. No. I don't, look,
Oh, anyway, there's our first Christmas tragedy.
it's tragic.
It's tragic. It's no Muppets Christmas Carol here,
I
folks.
fucking love that film.
Never
No.
watched a Christmas movie apart from Die Hard.
Not one, honestly.
You've not seen any of them?
Never seen Miracle on
Never seen
34th
It's a
Street.
Wonderful Life?
Never seen Wonderful Life. Never seen Elf.
You never
Seen
seen Elf?
No.
Elf is the best film ever.
Santa!
I've never seen that, and I like Will Ferrell, but I refuse to watch a Christmas movie.
You not seen Scrooged? Bill Murray?
No, never seen it.
Oh,
I tell you, I may have been
Are
forced.
you joking me? I haven't seen Scrooge.
No.
That's our generation. That's
that's what I mean.
No, you know what? I may have been forced.
Bill Murray at the height of his powers.
As a
Yeah.
child, I probably was made to watch the A Christmas Carol, the one that they filmed in Shrewsbury a bit.
What, the original black and white?
No, the one, you know when they filmed the one in Shrewsbury, didn't they? It was the 80s, and
I don't know.
they did an 80s one. I was probably made to do that in primary school or something. But I've never voluntarily watched a Christmas movie apart from Die Hard.
Oh, Ben, you're missing out because they're so heartwarming. I mean,
Oh, my heart's as cold and dead as a...
I know, so is mine in a way, but
Well, It's a Wonderful Life is an amazing film.
some of them films, it's just you can't help but to get caught up in the. It's not a bad message.
That's what I mean.
I mean, I know all the buying things is bollocks, all the commercialism is bollocks. We know that, but
Yeah.
the
Well, it's-
family, the being getting together, the loving each other, that I can get behind that.
Yeah, it's alright.
That's quite. That's a fucking quote from Ben. Loving each other. It's alright.
Yeah, it's alright. Do it for a couple of days. It's alright. I suppose.
Overrated, if you ask me.
I like having a Sunday dinner on a Monday and a Tuesday. That's quite fun. That's nice.
Oh, imagine the
I usually watch
loneliness.
Zulu.
I know.
That's one of my Christmas films. Do you want to hear my best Christmas day ever?
Come on.
Right.
You reenacted Zulu on the lawn.
I believe you. I believe you.
You genuinely think they're sat
With
there
his
behind
black
the water?
neighbours.
Paid the local homeless people to come up over the hill with shields and stuff.
I'm sorry, but we've been doing this for 6 months, and the funniest thing any three of us have ever said is what Mike just said. You reenacted Zulu on the front lawn.
First of all, I don't have a front lawn, alright? It's just a driveway. Let's point that out. If you're asking whether I build a sandbag wall, wear a red coat, and a pith helmet,
And shoot the homeless.
It's your neighbours thing. Oh man, I know it's weird,
Well,
Joey,
the
but
neighbours
you, I can picture Ben doing.
What?
Like, it's risk, but life size. And your garden's fucking Spain.
Today we're going to shoot some heathens. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Fucking humbug. Boom.
I'm deeply hurt by your accusations. I really am.
Would you be more hurt if we accused you of being like a kind, gentle spirit who spreads nothing but love through the cosmos?
That's what I am.
I want to apologise. You could tell this is the first time I've ever got really drunk while we record. I have smashed the microphone. I've pulled the mixer off the table. Sorry for all the bangs, dear listener. I don't want Mike to edit them out. He hasn't got time. This is released on Sunday, so you're going to hear. This is the Christmas party. This is how we sound when we get fucked up. So what the fuck were we on
It's
about?
my best Christmas day ever, right?
Oh yeah.
I always got my dad's Christmas day. I went there and I had my food and we watched Frankie Boyle. I think we watched all three Frankie Boyle stand-ups when we released.
That's a good Christmas
That's a good
day.
Christmas day, right?
Cleaned your musket.
Of course we went to not in the presence of my father, no. That's sick. What do you do on Christmas Day?
Did you clean them
I'm not
together?
having a wank on Christmas Day in the presence of my father. What do you do?
I can
What?
see you polishing your actual muscle.
They weren't being in your
Of course you have to stand to attention for the Queen's speech.
And your helmet. So, sorry, you're perfect.
Right.
It sounds perfect so far.
Right, it's all been good. Right? I go home and my mother has gone to her friends for Christmas Day. Right, so I've got the empty. It's just me and the dog. Right, it's Blue at the time, and I sat there. I had a big bag of weed, 12 cans of lager,
Yes.
and I sat there and watched the Dark Knight trilogy.
Oh, that's about 6, 7 hours, is
Yep,
that?
got back in about 6, went to bed about 2ish. Probably watched something after the.
How did you feel at the end of the entire thing? I'm curious.
Really like Batman Begins. Dark Knight is the best at the three. Heath Ledger is not my favourite Joker. Jack will always be my favourite, but
He's our Joker.
Different characters.
Yeah,
different,
they do it in different ways.
Yeah,
different
exactly,
takes on it.
exactly.
Both amazing.
Both amazing.
Boom.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. But I'm waiting for Heath to come back on the screen. It's not so much about Batman, that movie, it's about Heath Ledger, it's about the Joker. And it's great, wonderful film. And I like Two-Face, I think, what's his face, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, who plays Harvey Dent.
I don't know his name.
Aaron something...
He's great.
Burkhart, is it?
No, maybe something like
I know,
that.
he used to be drunk for Pearl Jam. What I'm on about.
Anyway, but the third one lets the whole lot down.
I was so
I like it. I like the third one. It's
Oh,
alright, but it's like
It was pants. It was pants.
compared to the other two, it's shit. It's a bad ending to the trilogy.
I think the problem was that Mr. Nolan.
And I do feel a bit sorry for Christian Bale and Tom Hardy, both amazing. Certainly Tom Hardy's an amazing actor. Christian Bale's pretty good. Tom Hardy's brilliant, but feel a bit sorry for him being in that mess in a way.
That's the problem. He escalated the superhero movie with The Dark Knight because he made a very complicated 2.5 hour movie. It's a drama with that. It's an action drama. It reminds me of something like Heat or like I don't know, a good gangster movie where like it's a long, complicated movie and it just happens to have superheroes in it. Heath Ledger's amazing in it. Christian Bale, he's Batman. It was great, but it elevated superhero movie.
Yeah,
It wasn't
that was the new level.
He managed to ground it in a real world, but if you think about the ending of the Joker having those two barges, right?
Yeah.
And giving them the choice, and Batman, he has to make the choice. You know, he uses the equipment to have that view of everything, and
He breaks
Lucius Fox.
breaks
His own
rules.
code and the Joker's fought. That's all the Joker wanted was to foot. So there's some
Push
really
Batman over the edge.
yeah. There's some fucking complicated
Yeah, there
moral
is.
stories.
Yeah.
So then, therein lies the problem. Where do you go from that?
Exactly.
Do
You
you-
can't reproduce that.
Yes. Do you just give more action? More. He tried to give more complex story, and
It didn't work.
the
man.
story where Batman has his back broken now.
I like. That's fine.
Now then.
That's Nightfall. That's
No,
the comic.
yes. Have you ever read Night? Because both of you, I could give, would love to give you both. I'm not going to exaggerate now to the listener.
Do you have a degree in advanced Batman theory?
Only in the Nightfall storyline. I'm not the biggest.
See, I've read the comic, but I've only read it a couple of times.
Okay.
I'm familiar with it, but I'm
No,
not.
I'm holding up
massively
to the
versed.
listener. I'm holding up a cardboard box that that holds one of my microphones, and it's probably what's that, 3 inches or 2? What would you
Yeah,
say?
3 inches high. And
I would say Nightfall is about that thick.
Was it-
Volume 1, and there's 3 of them. It's probably an inch and a half thick. It's 3 volumes. It's one of the most complex. It's huge. Sometimes, this will make me sound very geeky, but sometimes I pick it off the shelf and hold the 3 volumes together, and I'm like, fuck me, like just admire It's like the
Thickness.
Bible
It's
of
girth.
comic book. And
You're admiring its girth.
they tried to distill that into an hour of that third movie. Fuck no. Like,
It didn't.
and yeah, it fell really flat. Not about the cinematography, and I'll stick with that film, but no, it's a letdown.
It's a very.
And that is my reason. That storyline is so complex. Batman has to, because his back is broken, train somebody else to be Batman. That person then, over time, becomes corrupted by the power of Batman and starts to act Azrael.
Azrael, that's it.
And he starts to act evil, Mike, and he
starts
changes
killing.
the costume, and he starts to put metal things on him, and he starts to murder as the Batman.
So why didn't he write this?
But- Exactly, and Bruce, how good of a story is this? So Bruce is a cripple still, in his wheelchair, and he's watching the man who he gave the mantle to, who he thought was good enough, the only person good enough to take on the mantle of the Bat, and he's out there murdering people. So what's Bruce going to do? He has to go to extreme lengths to get fit again, to get out of the wheelchair, to go and take back the mantle of the Bat.
Yeah,
It's
it
better
is.
to
How
show it than it turned out.
epic is that?
Yeah.
But instead,
They just hobbled together some fucking
yes,
crap.
It would have been epic. It should have been 2 movies or 3 even. He tried to fit it all into 2.5 hours, and no. Bane is its own movie. the back-breaking, all that, the Batman coming back as its own movie.
Yeah.
And the movie, the plot holes. I can let plot holes go in action movies, of course I can, because otherwise they don't work.
Yeah.
The whole point is suspending disbelief. That's
Yeah,
why
yeah.
I adore professional wrestling. I couldn't love it as much as I do if I wasn't capable of suspending disbelief. But it has limits. There are dramatic limits to logic in your mind, that walls you're living to go to. How the fuck does he get from when he climbs out the prison? Does he get to Gotham the next day?
Yeah, that's it. And
He just turns up in the streets in Gotham in the same street as her.
I do enjoy the police versus Bane's mob little street battle. That's fun.
Cool.
That's cool. I
But
like
how
that.
you get there makes no logic.
Yeah,
We
that's it.
locked
I mean,
all the police underground.
Yeah, they're still alive and healthy and capable of doing
But,
this.
but we locked the entire police force, so the National Service, National Guard didn't come in
Yeah.
And what do you think then? Because it's open-ended. Well, no, actually, it's not, because you see him at the end, isn't it?
Yeah.
Does Batman die? No, he doesn't.
No, he
'cause
doesn't.
You see
He's
him,
sat
don't
there
you,
with
with-
Catwoman.
But how cheesy, how lame
I know.
screenwriters. I imagine that I'll see you in a cafe. And
I
he
know.
says it to me, and I'll look over and I won't even recognise you because you'll just be there with your woman and that.
Yeah.
How the fuck did Bruce know that was going to be the cafe that he was in? It's a
Lazy.
bit too cutesy, a bit
Yeah.
too...
I know, but tying up
But that
ends.
second one though, Ben, I'll defend that film to the... I
Yeah.
think that is...
Well, we've been through this. I thought the first one was better, personally.
You-
I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm
uh,
still a big fan of Michael Keaton.
What
original.
is it about the first one? Did you think that... Do you
I
think the
just
second
like-
one's a bit too boring?
I like
or
the
is it-
storyline. I like the fact that he was a drunk in Chinese jail where he
Yeah.
like brawling in the
Yeah,
prisons,
okay.
and then this man comes, starts training, builds him up, and it's a good
You see
story.
him
I mean,
going through all the...
I do-
It actually
yeah.
shows the behind the back,
Yeah.
how he actually
Yes,
got
yeah,
all
the
them
mental-
skills. Okay, yeah.
I do
Fair
like
play,
a good
fair play.
origin story.
Mm.
I do like that, and that is it's a really good film.
I thought the story was believable.
Yeah, I just think
That was
that
key to it. It was
Good.
like, took
Gave
the
some
Batman
reality,
story and made
fantasy reality to the
Yeah.
Batman
it
myth.
put it into a more real context.
yeah,
It's not just a rich man who
Yeah.
learns how to fight. No, how did he
I
learn
like
to
that.
fight?
Yeah.
Oh, he had to go to China.
I like the
They-
depth in that, yeah.
I appreciate that. Yeah. No, but I still prefer the second one. But I was just curious to why you. But that makes sense, definitely. And
So,
that was a mad tangent. But
yeah.
like
So
you said,
talking about demons of the night, Mike, tell us about Krampus.
Oh,
Christmas
yeah.
party.
There's a segue to fucking art, you
Ben, you're a
bastards.
pro- that
Yeah.
deserves a ching ching. Hey,
Yeah.
very fucking
Yeah.
Ching
crimbo,
ching,
lads.
motherfuckers.
Ching fucking ching, motherfuckers.
Merry Christmas, dear listener.
And to all, whatever, I don't care.
Peace and will to all fucking men, women, and people who identify as fucking blueberries or whatever the fuck you are. Don't assault me.
Right, come on, Mike, give us some
Yeah,
Krampus.
Krampus, baby.
Krampus us up.
In folklore, Krampus is a horned, anthropomorphic, half goat, half demon who punishes and sometimes kidnaps children who've been bad at Christmas.
Nice, I like his style. Well, not the kid
Does he
children
give them
part, but I
back?
like his look.
I'll come on to that later.
Okay, sounds ominous.
He's usually brown or black, hairy, has the cloven hooves and horns of a goat, a long pointy tongue and fangs.
I like his image. I don't agree with the kidnapping kids part, but I like his image.
Who sounds alright? Jokes.
Friend of the show, Satan. He looks like him. So.
Yeah, so basically, he's a companion of Santa Claus in several European regions, including Austria, Bavaria, Croatia, Czech Republic, Hungary, Slovakia, Slovenia, South Tyrol, and parts of northern Italy.
Yeah, so all sort of the southern Germany kind of region then, and obviously northern
Central
Italy.
European,
Yeah,
Does
very
he
much
like
so.
the snow?
Does he like the snow?
He must do. He's
Yeah.
got goat hooves. He'd love the snow. He could trek up them mountains up the snow tomorrow.
That's it.
That's probably why he's got the goat hooves.
He's the Italian Christmas donkey.
You'll be getting a visit from Krampus, guys.
The origin is unclear.
You couldn't beat Krampus. He's a fucking devil.
Half
Let's
demon.
not start this one.
He's only half demon.
It's half demon. What are you?
And I'm half pissed.
Oh, kick him in the fucking
And
goat
I'm
balls.
British.
Rod.
I'll rip his tits off. Sorry, Mike.
So you can always point out that as he's a goat, he's going to have massive hanging balls. So you can kick him in them.
Target, exactly. I'll
right.
headbutt him.
Yeah. Sorry, Mike. Carry on.
Yeah. And you can milk him after.
Okay.
Shout out to Luke Skywalker. That makes sense if you've seen it. Anyway,
I haven't seen it yet. No.
it's not a spoiler. Continue.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike.
Was he milking a goat?
I'm being rude. We keep.
I did see something on there, that's why I said it. I saw something on Facebook. The origin is unclear. Some folklorists
Ooh. Turns professional.
have postulated it as having pre-Christian pagan origins.
Probably. They love that shit.
He carries chains thought to symbolise the binding of the devil by the Christian church.
Oh, they're no fun, these Christians, are they?
No.
He beats children with bundles of birch branches.
Seems like a sensible punishment to me. Yeah.
I don't know why that made me laugh. Beat the
Maybe this one. He has a sack on his back to carry children to either drown, eat, or carry to hell.
Wow.
So he's a cheater for
That escalated quickly,
Yeah.
didn't it?
He did,
It's gone
didn't he?
from,
He was just
it's gone
beating
from
them with a
birching children's bottoms to carrying them off to eat, kill, or drag to hell.
Yeah.
burning the eternity of hell.
That's it. That's what they're taught in these countries.
Sorry, little Timmy, you were a bit of a cunt to your parents. Into the fire you go.
Sorry, Timmy. Fuck. Oh, little Timmy's fucked.
Yeah, he's burning in hell.
He stole one too many pound coins.
Yeah.
Alright, well,
He robbed a Greg's, probably.
Yeah.
I did.
Ooh, I had a Greg sausage roll last week that was the perfect temperature.
How did it go?
It was fucking wonderful. Genuinely, it was not too hot, not too cold.
Were you grateful?
I was. I thanked Greg's Jesus.
Okay, would you like to know? It sounds strange to listening, but do you remember how I brought up Black Pete earlier?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you like to see a picture of Black Pete?
That's
It's a white
creepy.
person. It's a white person blacking up, and I'm going to tell you about Black Pete now.
Why is he called Black Pete?
He's a companion of Saint Nicholas.
Okay.
Okay. And to the listener, I'm showing them a picture of some people.
This is a dude who's blacked up.
Yeah, blacked up, being okay.
Like Mike never did for Halloween.
So, Black Pete or Black Peter is Luxembourgish. Luxembourgish. Is that a real thing?
I think
Yeah,
it is.
It is, yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, I can't, Gaz.
Try this again. Okay, he's a companion of Saint Nicholas. The character first appeared in an 1850 book by Amsterdam schoolteacher Jan Schenkman, and is commonly depicted
Do you mean
as
Jan Schenkman?
Schenkman.
I can do a Dutch accent, so there's a few I can do.
Jan Schenkman. That's not an accent. Is commonly depicted as a blackmore, and that's highlighted. So that must be a thing.
It was
I don't know
a
what
slur
blackmore
for
is.
black people, blackamoor, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was
Hello.
blackmail is not really one that's used nowadays, I think, okay. But it's in a historical context,
It's
guys,
mentioned
okay.
in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
I believe it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, traditionally, Zwarte Piet, or Black Pete, is said to be black because he is a Moor, and I guess that's a... Yeah?
An Islamic dude, yeah.
I'm sorry, he's a Moor from Spain. Those portraying Black Pete typically put on black face makeup and colourful Renaissance attire, in addition to curly wigs, red lipstick and earrings. In recent years, the character has become the subject of controversy. Oh, I wonder why.
Oh,
Especially in the Netherlands. The tradition. So the Black Peter character is part of the annual feast of Saint Nicholas, celebrated on the evening of the 5th of December. I'm not going to say that word because it's Scandinavian. It basically means Saint Nicholas's Eve. In the Netherlands, Aruba and Curaçao on the 6th of December in Belgium, when presents and accompanying sweets are distributed to the children. The characters of Black Pete appear only in the weeks before St. Nicholas's feast. First, when the saint is welcomed with a parade as he arrives in the country, brackets, generally by boat, having travelled from Madrid, Spain.
Fuck, that's a trek, innit?
Yep, the tasks of the Zwarte Piet, Black Pete, are mostly to amuse children and to scatter Kuringototen, Pempapapatoyan and Stru. I sound Chinese. For those who go. Yeah. Black Pete is a thing, basically. That's, in Holland, Santa's a fucking blacked up.
Oh, it's crazy
weirdo.
Dutch.
Yeah, and crazy Dutch with their weed and their fucking.
It was crazy sexy Dutch.
Casual
It's
racism.
crazy sexy Dutch with the, the smoking the weed. And the,
Smoking the weed and
Smoking the weed
the
and
sexual prostitutes.
sexy porn star and a prostitute in the same evening, and they smoked so many bongs. Yeah, Black Pete. So, can I give you my other story?
Go on then.
I haven't read this ahead of time
Oh,
because
risky.
we are not professionals. We are winging this. We're sort of
This is our Christmas party.
yeah, we're winging it. We're playing it by ear, and I basically because we're a conspiracy podcast, a comedy conspiracy, you know. So I literally googled Christmas conspiracies.
Okay.
And I had no idea because we live in England and we're not sort of subject to right-wing religious Christian
Oh.
politics, are we? Because it
Thank
doesn't.
Satan for that.
It exists in England, does it not? But in very. Let's think of the poshest village in England, and the church is still a thing, isn't it? In that village, but
Yeah.
only because of money and status, and it's nothing to do
If
with
you live in the
actual
world of
religion.
Jacob Rees-Mogg,
Yes.
basically,
But your
you go to
average-
church on a Sunday.
But how does your average Brit Ben, Mike, would you say, feel about church?
We don't go weddings and christenings, funerals. That's it.
Couldn't give a fuck, could we?
Yeah.
It's not.
It is mainly a secular society, I think.
They're pretty much secular. Yeah.
So I'm basically saying this because to our American listener, I know that even if you're not religious at all, it's still maybe a tradition for you. You might have family traditions to it. Still be a thing for you to go on a Sunday, and that was a thing in England and Britain, wasn't it? But I would say we can only speak for ourselves in our circles, can't we? But I think it's so dead in our.
It's very rare when you find someone
Oh,
young
God.
who goes to
Yeah.
church. I mean, it is very
So-
rare. It's mainly the older generation.
So that's my point, is that this is why this conspiracy, when I googled this Christmas conspiracy and this came up, it's just completely not on our radar. So I'm saying that because we are, remember, officially more popular in America than the UK at
Yeah.
the moment. So to the
Put your
American
finger out,
people
UK.
listening, yeah, UK, come on.
Put your
So-
finger out.
But to our American listeners, thank you, and sorry for all the insults we give you and stuff. But this was completely. So I'm just going to read you the article. This is from Salon.com. Can I find the guy who wrote it? Rob Buston wrote this article. So I'm going to read his article out. Credit where credit's due.
I'm trying to call him a dickhead.
Probably, yeah, but I just have to credit him
Yeah.
because these are not my words. So, I had no idea about any of this, and here's the article. It's an article of faith among the religious right that there is a war on Christmas underway in the United States. Shoppers would be hard-pressed to see evidence of this seasonal conflict, as anyone who stared mystified at stores decked out with Christmas garlands even before Halloween can testify. Christmas would seem as ubiquitous as ever. Nevertheless, every year, groups like the American Family Association, the Liberty Council, and others, aided and abetted by the zealous elves at the Fox News channel, spread horrific tales of state-sponsored Yuletide banishment.
Oh,
Filthy.
sounds tragic.
This... Oh, hang on. I do need to wet my whistle. Sorry, guys. You don't need to edit this stuff out, Mike. This is the Christmas party. It's real. So.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, we have
Oh,
spillage.
oh, that's unprofessional, man. At least it's supposed to be a professional drinker.
And now I look like I pissed myself because I was trying to do that quickly. Who shut them up? Okay. So those groups we just mentioned, I've got a wet leg now. It'll dry on the way home. This year they have to help. Sarah Palin's new book, Good Tidings and Great Joy,
Oh,
Protecting
God.
the Heart of Christmas,
Oh God, this is gonna be bad.
is burning up the bestseller lists.
Oh, there we go.
The tome recycles several religious right claims about the war on Christmas, but in typical Palin style, the hard evidence remains thinner than the dollar store wrapping paper.
So they're the
And
majority.
thinner than her brain.
They're the majority in America, white Christians, and they still sound as if they're persecuted.
And,
Exactly, because I'm morons. Sorry,
Yes.
sorry, American listeners, we
Yeah.
love you. hit back to the article.
Yeah, I think they're listening to us. They probably know these
we
guys
don't-
are morons. In all
So
fairness.
here we go. What's really been going on? I've been an unwilling combatant in this conflict since it was hatched by the religious right some years ago. Believe me, there's less than meets the eye. Much less. Upon even cursory examination, the religious right's quote-unquote war on Christmas claims melt faster than a snowman in a blaze.
I
Ugh.
think it's a brothel.
Well, it's a word that...
I
gonna
imagine
spell it.
Botham's quite warm.
Yeah.
So number one, they say that public schools have been banned. I'm not going to go through this fucking list. We get the gist. I knew nothing about this conspiracy. So there's a right wing of America who think that the liberal fucking lefty, you know, pussy ass government they're trying to make Santa Claus a black man with a penis grown from the head and identifies as a unicorn. I'm very upset and I will not have it and I'm going to shoot you. Fuck off. It's all bollocks, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's all utter shit. People being distracted and upset about things they should not be upset about, which distracts them from what's really going on. What?
Yeah.
Who's getting blown up this week?
Look at the source of this shit. Where's it come from?
Seriously, this might sound...
Right-wing think tanks, probably.
Yeah.
Of course, Mike, this might sound like a facetious question, but you are... I don't even know if I use that word right, but you're more in tune with what's going on in the world. It's a genuine question, and there must be an answer. Who got blown up where this week? Well, shit was blown up this week, wasn't it? Somewhere. It must have been.
There has been a
Well,
few
yeah.
things going on, hasn't there?
Come on, stuff blows up somewhere every
Of
week.
course, but we
But
don't
it doesn't
get
get
to hear
reported,
no.
does it? We don't hear it, but we know it. So how do we find...
We're active wars in Syria. In
That's what I'm
Iraq,
saying, yeah.
Afghanistan.
There must have
Yeah.
been some
Uh,
bad
Niger,
shit
no,
going
yeah.
on this week.
Yeah.
The Yanks are in Niger now.
Yeah, yeah.
There must have been some bad shit going on, right? But we haven't heard about it,
No.
have we? 'Cause we don't need to. What have
No.
we been I can't think now, as we record, what has been the major news story of this week, as we think? What,
Well, the
'cause I know we don't...
deputy PM had to resign because of watching up to 8 hours a day of porn.
Oh,
Is
what
that
a
the major news story? Seriously? Is
What a
that has
job
been
you
the-
get it, eh?
No,
Yeah,
no.
I think someone worked it out and...
Dude, can we... Sorry guys, can we stick a nail in it?
Yeah.
Just for a sec, I need
I-
to pee.
I could do with that as
Yeah. I'll come back to me finishing my point.
well. Right, we're back.
Okay,
Oh.
so we're talking about the deputy PM, weren't we? Because we're talking about the news this week.
Yes.
Mm.
And
Oh, yeah, I asked you to explain what's going on then.
he got caught watching porn on his computer up to 8 hours a day logged into his account.
What a work job.
Yeah, and someone worked it out and he was getting paid £62.50 to pull his pud
Yeah.
every day. Taxpayers' money to pay, you know what I mean? And he's
Why
resigned.
would you watch it on your work computer though?
8 hours a day?
He's
know,
just so
eight-
arrogant.
It's in his personal account.
Maybe he really likes the
No, but-
storytelling.
Wait, listen though.
He's a fucking government minister, he's meant to be doing work, we paid him.
I know that, but I'm just saying, how do you watch 8 hours of porn a
Lads.
day?
Lads.
He's also got a very, very fucking bad porn habit.
Yeah, but you got wank that much in a day.
I gotta be careful because we don't touch on the subject that we're gonna touch on next week. But listen, think about this. Is why I asked you before the break. I know we're pissed and all that. Remember, I asked before the break because to the listener now who this might be their first episode, I am a van driver for a living, but I do not listen to the main. I do never have the radio on. I never hear the news. I do not watch TV. You will hear Ben and Mike berate me for I haven't watched any TV
I berated
shows.
you, it's up to
Well,
you.
no,
but-
no,
You
no.
watch
but
The Punisher?
I meant as a joke. I mean, as
Yeah.
I don't watch TV. I fit in online stuff. But my point is, I'm not exposed to the news. I don't read newspapers. I have no fucking idea. I am blissfully, beautifully unaware because I used to be very aware, and it made me ill, and my life was less
Of
quality.
course, of course.
Because what I used to do,
Look at what,
it's a slight
what
tangent,
John
but-
Stewart said, man, when he had to quit, didn't he?
Mm,
John Stewart retired. He's like, I
it's
just
too
can't.
much.
It's
Well,
like-
this is my
yeah.
let me get. Basically, yeah, I used to. So I'm a driver. Yeah, I'm a delivery driver all day. I used to listen to talk radio all day because I can't stand music channels. Before I discovered the internet, well, I knew about podcasts, but I didn't know I could have it on the run on my phone. So I used to listen to talk radio. It drove me insane because when I finished work, I'd go home and see my friends and start ranting and raving because I'd been so full of rage listening to other people
So full of
spout
rage.
their opinions, but I can't speak back to them.
That's the whole point.
And it was
of it,
making
mate.
my life miserable,
Yeah.
upset. I was thinking about how dark the world was. I felt work to be pointless, going my job, everything. It was a bad time in my life. And the switch, and I will sound like a hippie now, but I don't care. When I discovered that I could choose my own, because I've kept the same job, I drive, I download every night 8 hours worth of podcasts. I do, sometimes about Monday, Sunday, I'll download. You know, I'm always stocked up.
Wednesday,
I have got.
Thursday, on great
The
day,
point is,
isn't it?
I have never
Making
run out
love
of
on a
podcasts.
Sunday, chill on a Sunday.
Yes, and listen to Hollywood Babylon on Monday. But my point is, I never run out of podcasts. There are so many good podcasts out there. I have so many of them on my favourites list and download automatically that every week, my entire working week, I am able to escape mainstream fucking media, right? And now you guys are telling me, and I've asked you what, because I've noticed the alien stories, and we're not going to go detail,
No,
but
we're
now
not, no.
I asked you, so what is the actual, what are people talking, and you're telling me it's a politician watching pornography.
Yep.
Right? So the main that's the main thing that people are kicking off about, tweeting about, speculating about, writing about, journalising about, is the fact and the moralisation of politician watching pornography, when
It's okay
there
with a
are
quick
fucking
scan.
people confirming, not people, not pissheads, not
Yeah.
shitheads, not rednecks, not hippies, the fucking Pentagon are confirming UFOs. There are the first alien visitor to our solar system, and this is going to be an emergency broadcast next week. But I just love the fact that that is what you've told me. So that's the reason I don't buy in and watch the news and all that. So I've checked back in. That's what they're concerned with. The dude watches porn.
Yeah.
All right, 8 hours is excessive, but fuck me, what the hell? There's aliens.
You got US fighter planes tracking these fucking
Well, I
things.
agree with you, Gaz.
You're watching the gun camera of it.
Yeah, to an extent.
They're locked on.
But at the end of the
I
day,
mean, for fuck's sake.
he's a paid official. He's meant to be employed by us to make our lives better.
Oh, I get it on that
And
level,
he's watching
don't get me
8
wrong.
hours of porn a day.
8
Alright,
hours a day.
alright.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, Mike, he should be reprimanded. Mike, he should be reprimanded. He should be sacked. He should be
But he's
fucked
still an
up.
MP though. It's
But
not. It's like what's the
We
cut
shouldn't
off-
all be obsessing
What
over it. It shouldn't be headline fucking news. He said, the thing
course.
said he's got an organic jacket, Mike.
Of course, but it's
Oh,
but who owns the news corporations? It's companies.
murder. And he'll be the first one to communicate with the fucking aliens, won't he? He'll have it.
Look-
We'll never know what's going on. 'Cause
He
it's
wants,
right
he
in front of our
wants us
faces.
focused
I-
on other shit.
I thought about this earlier.
Yeah, that's the thing. Why we?
Right.
So we're focused on politicians and
But
pornos.
it's, what I'm trying to say
Well,
is
I'm not,
it's
but-
okay to be focused on both.
Okay, no,
Yeah,
you're
no,
right.
okay,
But
this-
my brain can't do
Okay,
it.
I want-
this guy is 8 hours a day jacking off on our time.
Well, you know,
You know
I
what
could
I mean?
do. I definitely could do 8 times, but not 8 hours.
What? What's the cut
Once
off?
an hour?
What's the cut off,
I
Gaz?
could do
Yeah.
once an hour, Ben. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gaz, what's the cut off? It's 8 hours is not. It's
Half
too
an hour for
much.
lunch, though, isn't there? There's half an hour lunch and 15-minute break in the afternoon, like everything would do.
Half an hour a day, I'll allow a
8
politician.
hours is too much.
I know it's
To
too
be,
much.
to
But my
be,
point
no,
is-
it's too much to be a minister, but it's not enough to be sacked from an MP. You know what I mean? That's he's still got his job.
If everyone's watching him, he can't go to the toilet without people watching him. I bet he can't go anywhere without, what are you doing? I'm fucking...
What's his name? Damien Green?
Yeah.
Yeah, because wanky green.
In 8 hours.
Oh,
No
wanky.
one can wank for 8 hours a day, that's bollocks, isn't it? Unless you're on speed. Really
the police officer
hardcore.
came out and said it was logged onto his account. He was the only one that could have accessed it. It shows
Can't
8
be wanking. He
hours
was
of
watching porn for 8 hours, so he's wanking for 8
Well,
hours.
no.
That's impossible.
He's popping off 1 an hour, isn't he?
Yeah, but that's not wanking
He's
for
enjoying-
8
yeah,
hours.
but he's enjoying
That's
this-
wanking over 8 hours.
But he's enjoying the
That's what he could have
storylines.
wanked.
There's a lot of some really detailed
We're paying-
porn out there
We're paying him
nowadays.
£8 to have a wank.
He's not watching any story.
He's watching the stories. He wants to know how the fridge gets fixed. He wants to know the the sink gets unplugged. He wants to know it all, Gaz. He's interested in the character development of these actors are portraying. He's a theatre fan. He must be.
We're all theatre fans here.
Alright, I'm gonna bring this down.
Right, come on, give us some murder. Give us some
of
Christmas murder. This is the Christmas episode.
Exactly. So I'll bring you some Christmas downers. John Benet Ramsey. You ever heard of John Benet Ramsey?
Yeah, the little girl that got robbed away.
6-year-old beauty queen. And this is quite sick actually. She was like
a beauty queen at 6.
Yeah, she was in every
tucked away on Christmas.
She was in like loads of. She was a pageant. She did all the pageants. Her parents pushed her into it. She was a beauty queen. And some of these
very famous case,
yeah.
Mate. I've seen a documentary.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix, isn't it?
Probably is. Yeah. I haven't watched it.
It was her dad.
And probably her mother as well.
I'm jumping ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, it was.
Was it on Christmas though?
It was. It was at Christmas.
Oh fuck.
She disappeared on Christmas Day in 1956.
Yeah, the morning the phone call. It's from the mum makes the phone call, doesn't she? Have you heard it?
Yeah. I just put the brief details down here, but this is probably an episode on its own because the police really screwed this up.
Because they were a well-to-do family.
They were, yeah, and the daughter was this I mean, they found. I mean, she went missing on Christmas Day, 1966. 8 hours later, her body was found gagged and bound in the home's basement.
Fuck.
There was no evidence of sexual assault, no incriminated evidence, nothing to incriminate a forced entry. But what the police did was instead of leaving the body where it was, they untied her, they ungagged her, they put something over her, they brought her up to the front room, they basically destroyed the entire crime scene. Right? And then laid her out for her to be identified in the front room. And then the forensics people turned up.
And didn't they find some bad shit in like his sperm and suitcase?
DNA samples didn't match. The parents have been suspected for years.
What is the outcome of this? Cause
Well, the killer is still at large. It's
sure
an unsolved case.
I think it was the father. I don't know why I think that.
They've always been
Allegedly,
suspected. The father especially has always been suspected. But I mean, there's this note that was left, sort of, kind of implying a break-in and a kidnapping. But then they found the body.
But
there was
read
no.
it out, didn't they?
I mean, it's just basically there's no obvious motive, really, because there was no sign of sexual assault, no incriminated evidence. And the killer's still at large, basically. No one can tie this down to anybody.
Do you know the theory I heard? You know that so the girl in question, John Benet, it was, how old did you say?
6 years old.
There's an elder brother, wasn't there? Not
there was,
much older. The theory I've heard is he killed her by accident and covered it.
I've heard that. I think he was about 13 at the time.
I think it's the most plausible, in my opinion.
Yeah, and they were a well-to-do family. The father was a millionaire, the mother was a former beauty queen. This little girl was basically being groomed to be a more attractive version of her mother, and it's tragic because, I mean, 6 years old, she never actually got to be a child. She was just, dolled up and shoved on a stage.
Merry Christmas, everybody!
Yeah! It's Christmas! Well, the thing
How about a Christmas hijacking next?
Hey, Christmas is magic, isn't it?
It is.
Hey, cheers, lads. So, come on then.
Christmas
What
dinner with the Yuletide log and all that. I love a good Christmas dump.
Hopefully not on your chest. Christmas hijacking
Day.
Alright. Is that what you ask for from your master? If you're a serf, you're unemployed, you're a serf of the state.
What, mate?
It was a Christmas hijacking.
Okay.
Christmas Eve 1994, Air France flight 8969 from Algeria was boarded by 4 men armed with machine guns, dynamite and homemade grenades. It was a 2-day standoff which saw 3 people executed and the fate of another 220 more hanging in the balance.
Wow.
The hijackers were members of a violent Islamic sect. So these boys are hardcore extremists.
Probably funded by the West.
Possibly.
I
Who
bet
can
they
say?
bought their guns off us.
Yeah.
Oh, well. They had homemade grenades. That's something. Someone showed me how to do that.
Oh, how'd you make one? Anyway, come
We've
on.
all watched Terminator 2, we had to make homemade grenades.
Exactly. Basically. Oh man, that's emotional.
Sorry, yeah.
Their plan was that if the demands weren't met, they were going to fly the plane to Paris and detonate it over the Eiffel Tower, which would have killed a fair few people, to say the least.
It would.
But fortunately, for the people of Paris, French special forces stormed the plane and actually did it successfully. They killed the hijackers, saved the hostages.
Oh wow.
Makes sense.
But who were they trained by? The SAS, obviously, because they're the only force to have actually, there's a Netflix film called 6 Days. Watch it. It's pretty good, actually.
We're the best of the best.
Watch it.
Watch it. It's all right. It's a
We
good film.
want you for the British Army.
It's got to, no. Anybody.
They don't want me. I know they don't.
When we get called up to fight the space war, and all we're issued are basically is a flak vest and a laser pointer, we'll be fine.
I'll sacrifice. If the space war comes, I won't go and fight another country or another man. But if the space war comes, I'll sign up. I'll be fodder. I'll die nobly, fodder-wise. I'll be a stormtrooper for the good.
We've got this in the group message with the Imperial Guard.
We're not all heroes.
They're basically, if we choke them with our bodies, then enough of us will survive and win the fight.
Well, the thing is,
I don't fancy that.
Not everyone's a hero. Not everyone gets the Luke Skywalker, front and centre treatment.
No, there's always one.
Most of us are just gonna die like ants under the boots of oppression.
We're like Starship Troopers.
I'll go out like that against alien foes. I want, if it's human foe, I'll hide at my mum's house. Cheers, bud. I'll hide at my mum's house and read some comic books. But if some aliens come down, I'd like to think after I'm over the initial freak out. But my girlfriend did laugh at me. I was genuinely upset by the alien news, and she laughed at me. So, but anyway, that's tangenting. Like, fuck, what are we on about?
Murders.
Yeah.
Child murder, wasn't it?
Child murder. Yeah, talking about aliens.
And I went to aliens. So what have we got?
Oh, it was a Christmas hijacking. Sorry. Yeah, Christmas hijacking.
Okay, what's the next one?
The Christmas race war of 1896.
I remember it well.
The white citizens of Mayfield, Kentucky, basically lynched one too many black men.
Oh God!
Jesus, man.
That's the way it was written on the article. Genuinely.
Merry Christmas, everyone!
The black community banded together to show a
doubt.
solidarity, and before long, the white citizens had barricaded themselves in their homes. Everyone had got guns and they were firing at each other. And between the 23rd and 24th of December, the streets are basically a war zone. Several people were gunned down, and it was only timely intervention by both sides came to the realisation this could massively escalate. They stopped the fighting. There's a cheerful message for you guys. Merry Christmas.
Well, how many people died?
Several people were gunned
Several.
down. It didn't give a exact number. Several people were gunned down, so could be 10, could be 20.
Whoever was on the offensive, I mean, they were out to do. They meant that.
Yeah, basically Kentucky, and genuinely that was the way the article was written. I'm not being racist anyway. That was the way they lynched one too many black men. So for some reason there was a lynch mob about 1896. That was.
Yeah.
So I can give you another gruesome murder from the time. Ashland, Kentucky, December 24th, 1881. Robert Gibbons, a 17-year-old amputee, his sister Fanny, 14.
Fanny Craddock. Nasty disease.
Don't joke about it too much, Mike, because they're going to die pretty gruesome deaths.
Comes from standing too close to sink.
Oh, there's Mike's a very sexist joke of the night. And a friend, Emma Carrico, 15, were asleep in the Gibbons home. Someone entered in the early hours, bludgeoned to death with an axe and crowbar, and set the house on fire. Neighbours found the bodies with their skulls smashed to pieces.
That doesn't sound good.
No. And also, here's what to bring you down for your Merry Christmas. The town doctor found that the girls had been raped.
Bloody hell, man. You put us right down here with this shit.
3 men.
I'm not laughing at him. It's just. Sorry. Don't judge me.
I told you that when I said I found some pretty gruesome shit for the podcast.
You weren't joking.
I wasn't joking. That wasn't an attempt at humour.
What's next?
3 men were accused of the crime. George Ellis, he recanted his confession, and he was hanged by a lynch mob.
Oh, good. That's all right.
William Neal and George Kraft were both hung legally. Hanged. Both are acceptable, Mike. That's like a grammar.
Alright, then there's only one way to find out. Is this a thing? Hanged?
No, I've googled this, Gaz. In
Going
back.
You had to ask God.
I had to ask God about what it was.
I'm dubious of his
Because when I've been around it, I say hung, and he says hanged, and I say, well, yeah, but the sentence that was issued was they shall be hung from the neck until dead.
Right.
Now, that's official British.
That was
official legal British doctrine. That was the sentence.
Hung, they're not hanged. What about the past tense?
No, because they were hung.
No.
That is the past tense.
You will be hung is a future
It's
tense.
also a past tense.
I've outgrabbed you, sir.
No, you haven't. Look, either way, both are acceptable in the English language. I've googled it.
Well,
it's fine.
I don't trust your dubious source.
I say hung. You say hanged. I say
Let's
potato.
go
You say. But either way, yeah. I joined it. How much more would you like me to brighten this up, guys?
You got more.
Oh yeah.
This is what you've been doing all week.
Yeah.
All this shit.
Yep. Wrote it up today.
Fucking
Spent
hell.
all week absorbing this while I've been at work.
And then I think we might have to wrap up.
Well, I'll give you 2 quick ones.
Come on.
Alright, so the
You got some more, Mike?
Asian tsunami. You all remember that, 2004?
Mm.
That was a recent one, the Boxing Day tsunami. It was a 9.1 to a 9.3 on the Richter scale. Apparently, this is quite an interesting fact, the same amount of energy as 23,000 nuclear bombs.
Fucking.
That's
But
not...
why was it going off in
Now, bear in mind the Richter scale only goes up to 10. Yeah,
Why?
this is a 9.1 to a 9.3. This is virtually fucking apocalyptic. I mean,
we know it's the
the waves were 50 feet high
I remember it was terrible.
and
Lots of people
battered
died.
everything across the Indian Ocean as far as Africa. 230,000 people missing or dead.
Fuck.
Fuck.
Merry Christmas,
Everyone. Snow is falling.
You know those
Children
guys.
are dying.
You don't sing Cliff on the podcast. You know that.
That's
no
not Cliff.
No,
That's Shaking Stevens, bro.
But either way,
Either way, it's shit.
It's in the reggae box.
get the reggae box shaking. How
Alright.
about the 2008 Congo Christmas massacre?
Oh, fucking. The Congo or the Congo?
Congo?
These are the Congo.
No, the
Congo.
Congo Christmas massacres.
Okay.
Let's all do
recent.
the Congo. Let's all do the Congo.
Mike.
La la
Hey!
la la la.
Hey!
I feel your humour.
Hey!
Let's all do the Congo.
Hey!
Hey!
Are you finished?
Yes, I'm finished.
It's
Are we
Christmas.
finished? Are we finished?
That's finished? Yeah, no.
Alan! No.
No.
Sorry.
You won't be so chatty about that. When I say that the Ugandan Lord's Resistance Army went from Xmas Day on 2008, went from church to church, village and village, village to village, slaughtering everyone they could find.
Fucking hell.
The reports indicate they hacked victims to death with machetes or mutilated them by cutting off ears or lips.
I've seen documentaries where they
Ears
chop,
and lips.
Or
they chop the women's arms off. They chop the women's arms off and then they rape them.
Or
Fucking hell,
Horrible,
man.
mate. I tell you.
force them to walk into burning buildings.
That's horrific.
And the children were dragged away as soldiers or sex slaves. 400 civilians, could be as high as 620, were missing, presumed dead or was missing, and few of the perpetrators were ever brought to justice.
Merry Christmas.
So you don't believe me when I told you I had some gruesome shit. What did you think this was going to be? What did you think? When I said, by the way, guys, got some gruesome shit for the Christmas episode. What did you think I found?
Alright. I got a bit more Krampus there.
Can we get some more Krampus? Lighten the mood, Mike.
Big Krampus. Okay.
Krampus is the son of hell.
Oh, shit.
I deliberately said that just as Gaz was taking a swig of his beer.
Oh, pass me the lighter while the instructions
He's the
are.
son of hell in Norse mythology, the ruler of the underworld.
Sounds a cool dude to me.
Yeah.
I spit the beer right in my own face. Thank you,
It
Mike.
comes from the German word Krampen for claw.
Okay, makes sense.
Okay. Every year there's a Krampuslauf, which means Krampus run.
I've seen that. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
People
young men-
dress up in some
yeah.
really elaborate costumes for that. There's like smoke billowing from their mouths and all sorts. It's amazing.
I've got some pictures if you want to see them.
Yeah, bang on the site, man.
Yeah, and I was going to put them on Facebook, so if listeners are listening now, if you go to the Facebook page,
Cutting through the bull.
yeah, see, trying to get
Yeah,
more likes
go
on
to
the
the
Facebook
ball.
page.
Get 100 likes. We may send one of you a free T-shirt and an 80s electronic game, Top Gun game, LCD game.
Yeah.
And drawing we said, didn't we? So yeah, we're nearly there.
Yeah. And
Okay.
leave us a review if you're there, if you like what you're hearing, or if you don't like what you're hearing, you can call me a wanker if you want.
5-star reviews are welcome. Go
Go
for
to
it.
the Facebook page,
Well,
look at the photos, and we'll talk about them in order they've been uploaded.
I like him. He looks
So
a bit.
Ben, do you want to describe it?
Well, he's like a bit of a fucking demon Sith Lord thing going on there, isn't there? Horns on his head,
What's his...
blokey red eyes, spikes on his back. He's got a tail.
What's
No
he
goat's feet,
supposed
though.
to be though?
No.
Who is he?
Krampus.
Oh. What's... Oh,
The guy
yeah.
who drags children to hell.
Oh,
He looks
wow.
pretty. He looks like a pretty fucking.
That's the thing, isn't it?
And he's got a birch stick, so he's a bit camp.
He's a big camp actually.
'Cause he's like-
he's like
He's
prancing.
holding his birch stick under his cocked leg.
He's kind of prancing.
So yeah, all right. Next one. He's
Yeah.
camp. He's
He looks
Just-
like he's gonna take cock right
He
in
looks
the
like
man.
he looks like a twisted Santa Claus.
a paedophile Gandalf, is what he is, sir. That's what he is.
Yeah, and this comes from the 2015 film which I watched called Krampus.
Right.
It wasn't
well,
too bad. It's got a 6.2 on IMDb, 65% Rotten Tomatoes, and a B- on Cinema Score.
yeah, well, that's what.
It's pretty interesting. It basically goes through the whole folk tale, and
Okay. Sounds good.
in the end he drags them down to hell. Spoiler.
Oh. You should have said
Oh.
spoiler before you give us the ending.
Well,
like,
never mind.
he looks quite cute actually. He looks alright. He's like a bit of a goat, got a
Oh.
bit of a long tongue.
Hello.
I'd have that as a pet. Definitely,
sure.
yeah. I'd have,
Even the forked tongues.
yeah, I'd go for that. He's got horns, he's got a nice little mane going on. I'd have him as a pet. That one's a bit more horned, hooded Santa Claus.
It's sort of demonic toys.
Demonic
It's
toys,
from the
yeah.
film again.
That's not scaring me so much. Ooh, that's creepy.
Yeah, there's one where it's sort of sucking the soul out of the child.
Wow, and he's got the Santa suit on but horns. That's kind
You
of
can't see
cool.
his face, can you?
No.
She's like,
She looks pretty defiant though, to be fair to her.
what? She looks more hypnotised to me.
Yeah, I think she looks a bit defiant. Something about her stance.
She looks kind of hot.
These are the traditional Christmas
What?
cards.
Oh, he's pricked a child up by his
This
ears!
is the traditional Christmas
And
card.
the child's wearing a sailor suit, and he's picked her up by his ears, and he's a ginge.
And he's
In
living.
fact, actually, I'm with Krampus on this one, because that kid's got ginger hair.
You bastard. No,
He's got
that's,
one normal
that's
foot,
cool.
one goat foot, and he's kind of licking.
Goat foot.
He's licking a child's head with his fork tongue. This was a Christmas card.
Yeah, but he's tortured a ginger, and
What
I'll never
period
say
of history and time was
These
this?
are sort of like the early 1900s and stuff.
I'll
right.
never slate anyone for torturing a ginge.
Oh,
The
man,
next
that's
one.
cruel. I'm ginger sometimes.
He's got a basket of children in his.
Them kids,
Basket children.
them kids are quite easy to escape. I think they're making the most of it.
You think they're being traumatic?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Look at that pose on the one, got their arm in the air. Yeah. Oh, help me! I could quite easily get in this basket, but I'm just gonna leave. Yeah. That one's a bit more freaky.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, he's actually murdering them.
Yeah, I think he's going to behead he's got a couple of children lined up for the block. Yeah.
That's some dark shit.
And
Is that Black Pete, though? Think
Could
about it.
be.
Could be similar thing.
It does say Krampus at the top of the image.
Yeah, Gruss von Krampus.
Gruss von Krampus? That was camp.
Oh,
that one's
That's the mask.
Oh,
from the
that's
film.
scary.
Oh, that's from the film, is it? So
What
is it
film?
the film Krampus, obviously.
Yeah, they filmed Krampus in
And
2015.
like a zombie Santa Claus with
Yeah.
no eyes and horns
Horns, yeah.
and the beard. Yeah, zombie Santa Claus with horns and a beard.
I don't
And these
like
are
him.
traditional masks that are worn now.
Oh, that's
Hello.
demon-esque.
That's like
Yeah.
an orc, isn't it? I thought.
Yeah, an orc with horns. Another orc with horns. Another orc with horns.
You know what he looks like? He looks like the devil out of Legend. Did anyone ever see that with Tom Cruise in it? And
No.
1980s film,
No.
fantasy film.
No.
No, you never seen it?
Sorry, dude.
No.
It's like a bit like Labyrinth sort of thing, and it looks
Okay.
like a demon out of that.
Not really a fan of Labyrinth.
It's an okay.
You're
film,
supposed to be though, aren't you?
Yeah, you're supposed to be,
We're
isn't it?
supposed to be.
So I don't like the Goonies.
I like that movie.
I don't
like
like
that
it.
movie. I do like that movie. Short round.
Didn't
No,
like
that's
it.
his name in. Anyway, that's a tangent.
That's
So,
the last
oh.
mask. It looks like a demon Gene
See,
Simmons.
That
does.
does look like nasty
Does.
Gene Simmons.
And yeah.
Well,
So-
fuck yes. Apart from. I was made for
No, the disco album.
baby.
You were made for loving me. Yeah.
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 So-
Rock and roll.
Shall we try and wrap up this marathon
Alright.
Christmas session bad boy podcast? Because
I will tell you what I don't like about Christmas.
come on then, let's do it.
I
We
can
should
do-
finish with what do we all
I'll
love
sum
and
it up.
hate.
I'll sum
You
it up.
must like something.
I like the family togetherness bit. That's
Yeah.
fun. That's alright. I may not like them too much, but for one day we all get along, don't we? And we're all the same. We all have things we don't like about our parents and our relations, but we get on with it and we have a nice
Yeah.
little time, and it's all good. And that's fine. And it's nice food. You know, we have nice food. I don't like the rampant commercialism. That pisses me off. In Britain, we're starting to inherit traits from America, like disguising our houses for Halloween and Christmas. And you think, you got these houses with all these lights and they're covering everything. You people can probably afford to live in this time. You're living in a shitty estate. And I see this walking around with the dog.
Imagine a lucky bill.
Yeah, so your lucky bill's going, you're doing this just for, like 2 months. You're doing this in October. Halloween ends, and by the 5th of fucking November.
And down the alley, there's homeless people.
Yeah, and so, and I guarantee you that these people who've got all these lights up have some kind of competition with the neighbours almost. They can
Keep up
barely,
with Joneses.
they can barely afford to live as
That's
it is,
it.
and they're wasting money on that. And they're getting themselves into debt to where their kids a PS4 or an Xbox 360, Xbox One. And that pisses me off.
All the
It's
kids
like,
are like,
you-
I want.
yeah, we're just suckling at the teat of these people who've got all the power anyway, and we're not clever enough to realise that we're suckling at their teat. That annoys me.
Yeah, the teat's getting dry by the year.
Yeah. And then of course, and you think, well, alright, but then you go, alright, what was the original message? It was the
Merry
religious
Christmas.
aspect. Right?
Yeah, give
So-
to the poor and clothe the naked.
Yeah, that's great, but all that's going out the window now, and a
Yeah.
few people go to church on Christmas Day, and
Yeah.
that's about it.
The
And it's
meaning
like-
of Christmas is no longer relevant
so let's go back, my thing
or
is,
wanted in this capitalist economy.
my thing is, let's go back to the pagan version of it, where we light a bonfire, we cook some animals, we dance around in skins, and then we have a fucking orgy at the end of it.
Is there going to be girls though?
Yeah, there's an orgy.
Oh, thank God. Then yeah,
I
I'm
need the
there.
part where I have to dress in animal skin.
It can be a fake animal skin if you want,
Okay.
as long as it looks animalish.
Yeah.
You know.
Maybe add some Santa trim because it's December.
No, it's not that shit.
Oh,
We're
what,
doing away with that.
No
We just have-
tinsel,
we just
no
have-
tinsel
the whole
thongs.
pagan thing.
Yeah, let's do the pagan thing. Why not? Fuck it. Let's have an orgy at Christmas.
Well, dear listener.
Not us lot. Not us lot. There's some women round. Or something. You know, have a bonfire. The whole town will come. Literally, the whole town will come. And
Build it and they will come.
Build it and they will come.
Didn't say it in
And
the
your
film.
face.
I don't know. I've never watched the fucking film.
You didn't say where, did you? Build it up.
Right? We'll have a bonfire. We'll cook some animals. There'll be burgers and lamb steaks and shit. We'll probably have fake animal fur. I don't know if we're killing animals for fur.
You're happy to eat them.
Eh?
Are you happy to eat them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm killing for fur.
Me too, that's
Food.
a whole
If
nother
you're going to kill them
episode.
to eat them,
Yeah, I'm gonna wear a pig skin. I'm not gonna wear leather, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That'd be a
killing them
kinky
for
though,
food.
a bit kinky for a town
You're
orgy
killing them
wearing
for
leather.
food. You're killing them for food. You might as well wear their skin.
Yeah, but it's a bit kinky to wear leather to a town orgy.
Don't wear another cap.
No, that's a bit.
Look, I'd love to wish you all a Merry Christmas. Do we have any more?
Yeah, so either celebrate it for either admit that you're a shameless corporate whore and buy all the shit that's sucked into your mouth, or do it for religious reasons. I would personally do it for none. I just enjoy the time off at the end of the year. There you go. That's me. I enjoy the time off at the end of the year.
Me too, and I'm not gonna lie, I've been sucked in a bit this year. A little bit of the magic's got hold of me just because I'm in love. Blah, blah, blah. But anyway, yeah, I'm with you next year, guys. And this year, yeah, I've shit all over the commercialism of it, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
1000%. But you know,
Let's
try and
Christmas
look-
bought and sold. Always been a
yeah.
long time.
But hang on though, before action. What's the message we want to leave our listener with in our after our
Well,
first Christmas
be
special?
kind to everybody, especially the more downtrodden. You know.
I'm down with that, Mike. Definitely.
Yeah.
Be kind. Be nice. Be
Don't-
questioning.
Don't tell racist Uncle Bob to shut the fuck up. We all have a racist Uncle Bob.
Don't punch racist
Just-
Uncle Bob.
just don't
sit
punch
him
him.
down.
Just sit him down and say, look, not
So you
the
sit
time,
there,
Uncle
be
Bob.
quiet. You've had
Not
your
the time.
Try to
Um,
resist those capitalist forces as much
Yeah.
as possible.
The end of our first 6 months, really.
Yeah.
So kind of not
Thank you.
exactly mathematically.
Yeah.
So if you have been listening, and there's plenty more to come, and the
The
end of
listener comes first here.
that's it. But this
And we come in your ears.
hey.
Spread it to your friends and
Yeah.
like us and
Spread us like sexual disease.
And what social medias just before we go?
Coming to the Ball and the Post Truth Apocalypse on Facebook.
Yeah.
At Apocalypse Bull on Twitter. I am at Baron Von Carter on Twitter if you want to follow me, although I don't do a great deal.
Get on
But
that
like our
too.
Facebook page, and you can
Yeah.
wear a t-shirt and a drawing and an 80s LCD game. Once we hit 100 likes, we're pretty close now.
Yeah,
70 something now.
Never give the amount, Mike. We need to tell them we're really close. Keep them liking it.
Oh yeah.
You don't give an exact number.
And I think
Fake
above all else,
news.
boys, Merry fucking Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
Don't
everybody.
murder anybody.
Don't kill anyone. Don't do a John Benet Ramsey or a or Willie Lawson,
Please.
whatever his name was.
Please.
Peace
Love
out.
you guys. Free Biff Tannen.
Keep stealing my sign
I
off
do.
again. And
Go
the
on,
second
say
time
it.
you've done that.
Yeah.
I'll sign off's going to be a
Go on,
mess.
Mike. Peace out.
Peace and goodwill to all men and women
Merry Christmas.
and transgenders.
Oh, you sick.
I'm being inclusive.
Hey, hang on.
True.
Just before you press
And
stop.
those.
Hang on, wait, I just want to ask you. So, all this transgender shit, so we're going to get the first ever transgender Santa Claus, yeah?
Right.
Chanta.
Yeah.
Pause. Good night, everybody.
We can't end on that.
Yeah,
That
we
was
can't.
terrible.
I haven't said goodbye yet.
That's it.
I'll say stay classy over Christmas and don't buy 17 loaves of fucking bread just as the shops are shut
That
for one
wasn't
day.
terrible, Mike. Tranta.
Alright,
So,
good night.
bye.
Bye.
Happy Christmas.